This is Cerebral Cinema. Movies of the mind.
The Mutual Broadcasting System presents I Love a Mystery, transcribed.
Yes, sir, Jack. A bunch of doggone heroes. Every doggone one of us.
Oh, look here, Doc.
Yeah, I know how you feel, Reggie. I wouldn't believe it myself. Only here it is, spread over the front pages of every newspaper in the country.
You believe everything you read?
Well, of course I do. A newspaper wouldn't dare print anything that wasn't true.
Doc, you haven't done a thing but read those papers since they were taken on in San Francisco.
Darn interesting reading, too. Looky at this picture of me. Doc Long, the modern Tarzan, who slew a mountain lion with his bare hands.
All right, Tarzan, fold up the newspapers.
What you mean, fold up the newspaper?
Stop reading that stuff before you begin to believe it. Remember, Reggie and I have got to go on living with you.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
You can keep patting yourself on the back, and you're going to break your arm, and we're going to have to feed you again.
Hey, you know something that makes me kind of mad?
I thought you weren't mad at anybody.
Well, looky. We took on a new stewardess at San Francisco, and she ain't even give us a tumble.
Well, why should she?
Why, a pretty girl like her should ought to be interested in a bunch of heat fighters like us.
Oh, yeah.
Now, look, Doc, you bored the other stewardess from Seattle to San Francisco with your story. Will you let this girl alone?
Oh, all right. Of course, if she asks me, I'm going to have to tell her.
Well, she won't ask you if she knows what's good for her.
Doggone, I can't get over it. The insurance company are giving us 25,000 potatoes just for bringing Alexander Archer back alive. 25,000 good round simoleons.
It was little enough. If Richard Cooper had killed Archer, the insurance company would have been out $1 million.
Yeah. And now here we are on our way to Hollywood to live like three doggone kings.
I still don't know why you wanted to come to Hollywood.
Well, Hollywood is good as any place else to spend 25,000 smackers, ain't it?
Yes, I suppose so.
But, Doc, we really don't have to spend it, do we?
Of course we do. What good's 25,000 if we don't spend it?
You agree with him, Jack?
Well, it's certainly true that he won't be good for anything else until the money's gone.
Quite. And it is a bother.
Oh, it ain't gonna be no bother to me. Not for long, it ain't. What's the best hotel in Los Angeles?
No, there's several.
Yeah, but the most expensive.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, that's where we're going.
Yes, but, Doc, we're not dressed for that sort of thing.
Then we'll get dressed for it. And we'll get the most expensive automobile we can find and eat in the most expensive eating places and go to the most expensive shows.
And the 25,000 will last us just about 1 month.
Well, that's just about right. I don't think I could stand being so darned expensive much longer than that. Do you like it, Reggie?
Well, as a matter of fact, I don't.
Now, there's gratitude for you. I work out a swell way to spend our 25,000. Well, just think, Reggie. Folks are waiting on us, breakfast in bed, waiting around in pretty women up to our armpits.
I was wondering when that was coming out.
Pretty women?
Yes.
But, Jack, that's the best part of the whole idea. Why, there ain't nothing I like...
We know there isn't anything you like as much as a pretty woman.
Well, they ain't. There's one thing, though. I'm just wondering with so much whoopee if I'm going to be able to get home every morning in time to have breakfast in bed. Looky, you fellas, promise me something.
Well, let's hear it first.
I want you two to promise me, no matter what happens, no matter what, you get me, that we ain't going to take no adventure nor solving a mystery nor nothing like that until every last penny of the $25,000 is gone.
I see. You don't want business to interfere with pleasure.
You bet I don't. You promise?
Well, now, that's a funny thing to ask, Doc. Adventure just doesn't come up and smack you in the face. You've got to go out looking for it.
Yeah, but I know Jack. He smelled something and away we go.
But if we do run into something...
No, sir. If we run right smack into something, we're going to turn our backs and start walking the other way.
What do you say to that, Jack?
I say the worst is about to happen.
Huh? Well, what you mean?
That stewardess has spotted us. She's coming this way with a newspaper in her hand.
Hey, that's all right.
Well, get ready, Reggie, to hear the story of our great adventure all over again.
Quite.
Hello, honey.
Are you Mr. Long?
Oh, that's all right. Just call me Doc.
Oh, I say.
Then this is your picture in the paper.
Yep, that's right.
And, these other two men?
Yep, Jack Packard and Reggie York.
Oh, but it's wonderful. You're the three who were almost murdered and fought those mountain lions.
Yeah, would you like to hear about it?
Oh, please. And that poor girl, Linda Joyce. You were wonderful to save her from the mountain lion the way you did.
Oh, shucks, it wasn't nothing. Sit down a minute, and I'll tell you all about it.
Oh, will you please do?
It's his pleasure.
What's that?
I say you don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Hey, Jack, she asked me, not you.
That dreadful Richard Cooper and Dr. Thorne. Thank goodness they're safely in jail.
Yeah, they're locked up so tight they ain't never going to get out.
But there were so many of them. I mean, besides the two leaders. How did you ever get off the island?
Well, while me and Linda was out fighting the lions, Jack and Reggie here captured Cooper and Thorne and locked the rest of the gang up in one of the rooms down in the cellar.
Oh, you two should be so proud of yourselves.
Hey, what about me out there fighting the lion?
Yeah. But after all, you did have a knife.
It wasn't a very big knife.
And anyway, I've heard that mountain lions are cowardly.
Hey, when I got through with that cougar, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks.
You don't look like you'd ever been sick a day in your life.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, I swear to Grandma, I ain't never seen a girl like you before. Ain't you impressed at all?
Of course I am. The way Mr. York and Mr. Packard locked up 13 men single-handed, I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, but maybe you don't understand about mountain lions.
Mr. Packard, what happened after you locked those men up?
Well, we found Alexander Archer and loaded him into the launch with Cooper and Thorne and brought them into Port Forest and turned them over to the authorities.
Oh, but what about all the men that were locked down in that underground room?
Oh, the police went out the island and got them.
Well, I suppose you know you're famous.
Well, newspapers have to print something, I suppose.
But I still don't see why they made so much of Mr. Long and the mountain lion.
Hey, looky, are you just plain trying to make me mad?
Why, no. Of course not.
Well, whether you believe it or not, fighting mountain lions ain't no child's play.
Oh, Pooh. My folks live on a mountain ranch up in Washington. My mother scares mountain lions out of her chicken yard by shushing her apron at them.
Hey, that ain't so.
I beg your pardon.
Well, hey, I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry.
Don't
only...
apologize. I shouldn't have come back here.
Yeah.
But my mother did, too, scare mountain lions with her chicken apron. So there.
Well, what are you two sitting there grinning about?
Too bad Cooper didn't argue with the kitchen apron instead of a knife, Doc.
All right. So it's funny.
Now I come to think of it, Reggie, I wonder if maybe Linda didn't scare that lion to death by shaking her skirts at
Yes, quite. But in that case, how did Doc get those scratches and bruises?
him. He might have fallen down a ravine.
Yes, that would account for it, all right.
Well, you two guys shut up.
Well, naturally, he couldn't say that Linda killed the cougar.
Naturally not.
Looky, you two smart guys. beg your pardon? Yeah?
I'm a passenger on the plane.
Well, so what?
You look like the fella whose picture I got there in my paper. See?
Oh, okay, so I'm the fella. What about it?
Is it true you killed the mountain lion with your bare hands?
No,
It ain't. But it's right here in the paper.
I can't help that.
Then that mountain cougar's still alive?
No, he ain't. He died of being scared to death.
My goodness, you don't tell me.
Sure, I'm telling you. My mama come along and waved her kitchen apron at him, and he laid right down and kicked the bucket.
Young man, you're a liar.
Oh, you don't believe me?
That's a fine way to talk to a gentleman.
Well, if you don't believe me, just go back and ask the stewardess. She knows all the answers.
Are you, gentleman, this feller's companion?
Yes.
What's the matter with him?
Well, he hasn't been quite right ever since we left the island.
Oh, so that's it. Too bad.
Why, dadgum, you Jack. Fine a pair of sippy cats as I ever tied up with.
Don't worry, Doc. There'll be a new batch of newspapers with stories in them when we reach Hollywood.
Don't you say newspapers to me.
Oh, look here now, Doc.
I'm warning you. The first newsboy that sticks a newspaper under my nose is going to get smacked right back 3 generations.
Oh, I say, look down. Lights. We must be getting in.
Fasten your safety belts, please. No smoking while we're landing. Fasten your safety belts, please.
So your mama shushed a cougar with her apron.
Yes, she did. Fasten your safety belts.
First thing she knows, she's going to have herself believing that.
Oh, Doc.
Yeah, we're heading into the field.
There we are. Back on solid ground again. Well, there she is, folks. Burbank, California. Come on, let's get out of here and start spending some of that money.
What'll we do? Take a taxi?
Pretty doggone right. To the most expensive hotel in Los Angeles. Some place that's close to Hollywood, though.
Watch your step, please. Watch your step, please.
Your mama's sure enough scared a cougar with her apron.
You're holding up the passengers. Please move along.
Oh, so you're backing down now.
I am not.
Doc, come on.
Well, all I gotta say is that your mama's one tough hombre.
Oh, you're impossible.
Take his arm, Reggie.
I'm a coming.
Watch your steps, please.
A cute kid. Just as soon lie as look at you, though.
Quite a crowd outside the gate.
Trent's got a little plane getting ready to go out.
I beg your pardon. Are you Mr. Jack Packard and party?
Yes, that's right.
This way, if you please.
Hey, wait a minute. Who are you?
I'm the chauffeur. If you'll just get in that big black car over there, I'll pick up your baggage.
Man, oh, man, looky at it. A block long.
What's it all about? We didn't order anyone to meet us. You must be mistaken.
You said your name was Mr. Packard?
That's right.
Well, then, if you'll please get in the car, I'll be right back with the luggage.
Jack, I don't get it.
Well, neither do I.
Well, what do we care? Looky, it's what's in that big old automobile.
What's that?
I ask you, did you ever see a prettier armful of girl than that?
Oh.
Let's climb in. What are we waiting for? Doggone, don't we get ourselves in the most expensive places? Looky, Jack. Looky, Reggie. Silk sheets, even.
All right, silk sheets. So what?
So I'm a-going to sleep between silk sheets for the first time in my life. Honest to my grandma, fellers, if my cousin Winnie Mae could see me now.
What makes you think we're going to be here long enough to sleep between any kind of sheets?
What you mean? We've been brought here, ain't we?
I still think there's been some mistake.
I say, Jack, what's that?
Oh, where have you been?
Oh, prowling a bit. Did you two know there's a suite of 3 bedrooms with separate barns?
Well, didn't I tell you this was expensive stuff we got ourselves
a
into?
bedroom for each of us.
Sure, so what you mean, Jack, by saying it's a mistake?
Well, there's no sense to anything that's happened so far. We get on a plane to come to Hollywood for the express purpose of spending $25,000.
Well, we can spend it from here just as good as any place else.
Well, that's not the point.
Ain't, huh?
No, it isn't. The point is, when we get off the plane, we're met by a liveried chauffeur in a fancy car, just as though we were expected and being met by appointment. No explanation, nothing. We're just invited to get in the car.
That's right, and so we get in the car.
And why? Well, because there's a good-looking girl waiting inside for us.
Well, that's as good a reason as any for getting into a strange auto. Are you sorry you did it? Well, look what it's got us in so far.
Yeah, that isn't the idea, Doc. We've been driven out to this beautiful old Hollywood mansion, and we don't know why. All we know is that this is the home of Randolph Martin.
Yeah, whoever he is.
And that these are to be our quarters, and the dinner will be served at 7.
Hey, well, we know the name of the little old honeypot who met us at the airport.
Faye Martin. Does that mean anything to you?
No, of course not. Except I like knowing it.
Why?
Because I think I'm going to like Faye when we get to know each other better.
You're out of your class, Doc.
What you mean, out of my class?
If this house is any indication, the Martins are not only wallowing in money, but they're overflowing with the refinements and niceties of an old family.
Aristocrats?
If you look about, you see signs of the family tree almost everywhere.
You mean we're going to be high-hatted?
What happened in the car on the way out here?
Huh? Well, what you mean, what happened?
Why, the minute we began asking Miss Faye Martin questions, she froze solid.
Yeah, only I just thought she was kind of nervous on account of us being strangers. Besides, you don't think I ain't man enough to unfreeze her.
Well, you still don't get it, Doc. She was the little princess keeping the village yokels in their place.
Well, then what'd we come for?
Oh, see here now.
No,
Doc.
sir. I'll be doggone if I'll stay around folks who don't think I'm as good as they are.
All right, Doc, relax, will you? The whole point is that we allowed that girl to bring us from the airport to this house without getting one bit of information out of her. We allowed ourselves to be turned over to the butler in the downstairs hall and conducted to these rooms, still not knowing what it's all about. And now we've been here for an hour, and what do we know?
Well, I'll tell you what we know.
What?
We know that we're being neglected. That's what we know.
Yes, that's about all.
Well, why don't we do something about it? We don't have to stand around with our teeth in our mouth. We ain't locked in. Let's bust out and find this here Randolph Martin.
No, that's not the answer.
Well, why the heck ain't it? Well, don't you agree with me, Reggie? Get aggressive and show them that we ain't folks to be pushed around.
No, I don't think so.
Hey, what's the matter with you two anyway?
Oh, look here, Doc. Gentlefolk might not understand our strong-arm methods.
Gentlefolk.
People of breeding. Refinement.
Hey, look, you think I'm purty enough to sit down at the table with these folks tonight?
Oh, look here.
After all, we didn't come here of our own accord. They brung us.
Now, just the same, Doc, I think we can wait until dinner.
Oh, sure, we can wait until next week. But that ain't spending none of that $25,000 reward money we'd come to Hollywood to spend.
But we're bound to meet the whole family at dinner, and then the reason for our being here, if there is a reason, will come out.
I say, who is this Randolph Martin, anyway?
I never heard of him. You, Jack?
No, he can't be anywhere.
Oh, someone showing some signs of interest.
Well, how doggone gracious of him not to forget us completely.
I get it.
Hello.
Oh, good evening. I'm Jack Packard.
Look. Somebody slashed me.
Slashed you?
Yes. Here on my arm.
Here, let me see that. Now, maybe you better come in here.
Yes, I guess maybe I'd better.
And you're bleeding all over the carpet. Come into the bathroom and hold your arm over the basin.
All right.
Reggie, close the door.
Quiet. I say, Doc, did you see that?
Yeah, what's going on here? What's she mean somebody slashed her?
Well, she was valley well bleeding.
Well, who the heck suppose she is?
Oh, Doc,
Yeah?
bring me some iodine and cotton and some adhesive tape out of my bag.
Okay, coming right up.
It isn't really very much of a cut. About an inch long, not too deep. Now, how'd it happen?
They did it.
They?
Yes. I was walking down the hall, and I felt a kind of sharp sting on my arm. I looked at it quick, and it was all bloody.
This happened just now out in the hall?
Yes.
Who was out there with you?
I turned around real quick, but there wasn't anybody.
Here's the stuff you wanted.
No, thanks.
It don't amount to much with blood washed off. How'd it happen?
They did it.
Well, you keep saying they. Who are they?
I don't know. They just won't let me alone, is all I know.
Yeah? Well, what they bothering you for?
I don't know. I think they're trying to kill me.
Kill you? Hey, wait a minute. What did anybody want to kill a nice girl like you for?
I don't know.
Now then, this might sting a little. I'm pouring iodine in the cut.
I don't mind pain.
Good girl. There it is. Now, a little cotton and some adhesive tape, and you're all well again.
Oh, look here, Jack. Didn't you hear her say someone's trying to kill her?
Yes, I heard her. Do you mind telling us your name?
I'm Cherry Martin.
Cherry, huh?
It's really Charity. But nobody calls me that.
Then you must be the sister of Fay Martin, who met us at the airport.
Yes. She likes Faye best, but her name's really Faith.
There you are. Now come out in the other room. You're still pretty much upset.
No. I'm not upset.
Well, then why that fearful whisper?
I'm afraid they'll hear me.
Please sit down.
No. No, I mustn't. I must go now.
But see here, I think you should sit down and tell us about this if you're in danger. That must be the reason why we're here.
Yes, that's part of the reason. But I must go now.
But ain't you scared to go out in that hall? If somebody got to just slashing your arm, ain't he liable to do it again?
Yes.
Then why not stay here where we can look out for you?
No. I mustn't stay.
Well, why?
I just mustn't. That's all.
Would you like someone to walk to your room with you?
No. I'm all right. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. Hope is my other sister.
I see. Faith, Hope, and Charity.
Yes. She's the one who's in the worst danger. Hope and my brother Job.
Your sister Hope and your brother Job are in the worst danger.
Yes.
From what? From whom?
I don't know. But they do. I'll see you at dinner.
Well, smack me for a baby. What goes on?
Well, now things are beginning to make sense. The reason for our being here begins to emerge.
Danger, murder, fear. In this house?
There's your blue-blooded aristocracy you fellas was holding your breath over.
Oh, it's more apparent than ever, don't you think, Jack? I mean to say, the exquisite refinement of that girl's face. The roots of an old family tree are firmly entrenched in this house.
Yes, Reggie, but it's also apparent that the family tree is beginning to show signs of decay.
Signs of decay? Looks to me like it was rotten clean down to the roots.
Something's valley wrong, all right.
Screwy family in the beginning. Who ever heard of naming girls Faith, Hope, and Charity? Sounds like a Texas camp meeting.
Well, at least we know this much now. There are 3 sisters who've gone to the names of Fay, Hope, and Cherry. And there's a brother Job.
Yeah, there's another name out of this world.
And it appears, according to Cherry's story, that someone is molesting her with the intent eventually to kill her.
Yeah, and right in this house, too. Funny kind of a cut she had on her arm. What kind of a knife would make a thin, long cut like that?
Oh, doctor's scalpel, safety razor blade.
I say, that's exactly what it looked like, a safety razor blade cut.
Yeah, but who's going around murdering folks with an old safety razor blade?
What do you do with your old safety razor blades?
But this must be pretty doggone serious, Jack. Cherry thinks they're out to kill her, yet she says her sister Hope and her brother are in even worse danger.
I'd like to get hold of that Randolph Martin and give him peace of my mind. His children are in danger, and he keeps us up here waiting. He doesn't tell us what it's all about, and why doesn't he let us get onto it?
Did you ever stop to think... Listen.
I say, a blooming infant in the house.
Yeah, then one of the girls must be married.
Open the door, Doc.
Well, what for? Ain't you never heard a baby holler before?
Never mind, open the door.
Okay. All I hope is it don't yell at night.
Has a fine pair of lungs.
Stuffed a nipple in its mouth or something. Jack, I say, come on, what are we waiting for? Here's the stairs.
And there she is lying down at the foot. Come on.
Oh, doggone.
Here, wait a minute. Straighten her out.
Well, hey, it's Jerry.
Is she dead?
No. No, she's not dead.
No. dead.
Well, hey, she's conscious. And after a tumble down all them stairs.
All right, what is it this time?
Well, hey.
Well, why are you all standing there gaping? What is it?
Your daughter just fell downstairs.
My granddaughter, you mean. Is she hurt?
No. No, I'm not hurt.
Falling downstairs.
I didn't fall. Somebody pushed me.
Hey, they did?
What's that bandage on your arm?
Somebody slashed me.
Can you stand?
Yes. I think so.
Then get to your feet.
Here, let me help you. There you are.
Thank you.
Perhaps I should explain how we happen to be here.
I know more about that than you do, young man.
You do?
I should. I brought you.
Then you're...
Randolph Martin. And I need help. I'm having granddaughter trouble. Then, Mr. Packard, we'll go into the library.
Mrs. Martin, will you tell me why you sent Doc and Reggie back up to our quarters?
I'm taking you into the library to meet my granddaughters.
What's that got to do with Doc and Reggie?
My dear man, you don't know my granddaughters.
What's that?
No. When there are too many eligible men about, it's difficult to get them to concentrate on anything else.
Man crazy, huh?
Keep a civil tongue in your head.
You suggested it.
I can say what I please about my granddaughters. You can't.
I see.
Be sure you do. The Martin girls can do no wrong.
But you were telling me a few moments ago you were having granddaughter trouble.
I am.
Well, isn't it going to be a little difficult for us to discuss the trouble if I've got to assume the attitude they're above reproach?
I'll do the criticizing. Your job is to correct the trouble in this house without comment.
Aren't you being a little high-handed, Mrs. Martin?
You're questioning me?
I certainly am. First, you practically kidnapped me and my two partners.
You didn't have to come if you didn't choose.
How did you know we were arriving by plane at Burbank this evening?
Read it in the paper.
But did you stop to consider that we might have had plans of our own?
They weren't important.
You mean they weren't important to you? I'm afraid you're a woman who's used to having her own way.
I'm afraid I am.
Well, you go right ahead and have it. Well, I think Doc and Reggie and I'll be on our way.
Fiddlesticks.
What's that?
You're staying right here.
Against our will?
Nonsense. You're staying here because you're needed.
You're asking us to stay?
I'm ordering you to stay.
Now, then I'll say goodbye.
Don't be a fool, Jack Packard.
We don't take orders.
You walk out of the house because I order you to stay instead of ask you to stay.
That's right.
You'll be well paid for obeying my orders.
Keep your money. As a matter of fact, our one purpose in coming to Hollywood was to spend our reward money from the last job. It would melt faster down here than any place we could think of.
You don't recognize authority, and you have no use for money.
That's right.
They're difficult young men to handle.
Not at all. We enjoy doing favors.
The House of Martin does not accept favors.
Now, that's up to you.
For generations, we've been able to pay for anything we want.
In my opinion, then, the Martins have wanted few of the good things in this world. Well, here we are. We can't agree, so we'll go.
No.
Yes.
No, wait a minute.
Well?
I don't like it. I'm not used to asking people to do things. But I will. I'm asking you to stay and help me, Mr. Packard.
Please?
What's that?
You didn't say please.
How dare you?
Don't if you don't want to.
Young whippersnapper. Mr. Packard, will you please stay and help me?
Gladly. In fact, we'd already made up our minds to stay. I think you've got an interesting problem here.
What do you know about the problem here?
Nothing. But it's apparent there's something. It's in the atmosphere. Something, might I say, something creeping through this house.
Creeping? Creeping?
A creeping, unhealthy menace.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. You don't suppose it would be the stench of a decaying family tree that's permeating the environment, do you?
Oh, such utter nonsense. We spent enough time. Come along in the library and meet my granddaughters.
Very well.
Decayed family tree, indeed.
Only a suggestion.
Uncalled for. Come on in.
Yes?
Now then, Fay, where is Hope?
Oh, Grandmother, whoever keeps track of our beautiful Hope?
Well, someone should.
I hate to be the one assigned to the job.
I told her to be in the library at 8.
Grandma, I know where she is.
Cherry, shut up.
Fay, please, you're a Martin, and that Martin women are always ladies.
Oh, horse feathers.
The Martin women are always ladies. Now then, Cherry, where is Hope?
She sneaked out with the chauffeur again.
You little rat. Fay.
Well, she is.
I am not. Hope should leave the chauffeur alone, and you know it.
Well, that man will get his walking papers tonight.
Let's see. That'll make the fourth chauffeur to get his bounce in 3 months.
We'll not discuss the subject any further. Mr. Packard.
Yes?
This is my oldest granddaughter, Faith Martin.
Sure. We met before.
Yes, I think I've had the pleasure.
What's that?
Miss Martin was in the car that met us at the airport tonight.
You were. Why?
I just wanted to get first look at your private detectives.
I don't particularly like that term, private detectives.
Well, isn't that what you are? 3 flatties in plain clothes to keep an eye on the Martin girls.
That will be enough of that, Faith Martin.
And, look, Packard. Grandma's the only one who can get away with Faith. Make it Fay or don't talk to me.
I'll remember.
All right, you've had the center of the floor long enough. You know Charity Martin already.
Not Charity, Grandma, please. Cherry.
Miss Cherry Martin. Any bad results from your fall downstairs?
Don't tell me Cherry fell downstairs again.
I didn't fall. I didn't. I was pushed from behind.
And when you looked around, there wasn't anyone there.
How can you look around when you're falling?
Fay, let your sister alone.
If she keeps falling down the stairs much more, we can make a tumbler out of her and put her in the circus.
Fay.
Okay, why not?
Miss Martin.
You better call me Fay. There are too many Miss Martins around this joint.
Very well, Fay, then. You don't seem to take your sister's convictions that someone is trying to kill her very seriously.
Oh, Cherry's just got a persecution complex.
I have not.
Sure you have. You're always talking about them being after you. They want to kill you. They. What's that but a persecution setup?
Perhaps. But how do you account for the marks of physical violence? That's not in the mind.
You've got me, pal, but if there's anybody in this house chasing Cherry with malice aforethought, then I'm a flagpole sitter.
Fay, I find the vulgarity of your language exceedingly distasteful.
Poor Grandma. She's tried so hard to make ladies of us all. And what did she get?
No, what did she get?
You really like to know?
Fay, watch your tongue.
I assure you I would. I'd like to know very much.
Well, I'll start with me. I'm the oldest.
Yeah?
I'm the vulgarian of the family.
Faith Martin, you mind what you say?
Oh, go lay down, Grandma.
I begin to understand, Mr. Packard. You see why I need help so badly?
Go on, Fay. You're the Bulgarian.
Correct. Hope is the family wench. Witness her evening escapade with the chauffeur.
Fay, the family name.
What family name? And Cherry, the little whispering mouse here, she's just a plain dope, afraid of her own shadow.
I see. That's the way you analyze the situation.
That's us. Here we are. Look us over.
What about Brother Job?
We'll not discuss Job. He's a fine young man. The only one in the family who appreciates the name of Martin.
That's Grandma's version. Want to hear mine?
Please.
Brother Job is a good-natured drunk.
Hey.
Who's been taken by every gyp game Hollywood can think up and is slowly breaking his grandmother's heart.
If I may offer an opinion, I don't think you girls are doing your grandmother's heart any good either.
Oh, well, she doesn't love us. As long as we don't get the name of Martin in the headlines, she doesn't mind us, but she loves Job something awful.
We all do. We all love Job. And he's in such danger. He and Hope are in terrible danger.
Yes, you said that before tonight when I was bandaging up your arm.
Bandaging her arm? Hello. You have got a bandage on, haven't you? What happened?
Somebody slashed me as I was walking down the hall.
What?
It's true, it's true.
You mean somebody slashed you with a knife right here in this house?
Honest, Faye. Honest, they did.
And, Mr. Packard, do you suppose there really is somebody after her?
There's evidence to indicate it.
Look, Mouse, maybe I've been doing you an injustice.
It's true enough.
Now, wait a minute. Let's take that up later. We've got away from our subject.
Oh, yes, which was Job, the family drunk.
You say he's in danger, Cherry. What sort of danger?
I don't believe there's any truth in it. Who'd want to harm Job? Besides, the child's been forewarning doom for members of the family for years.
But he is in danger. He and Hope.
What sort of danger?
Danger out there, outside the house. But it's getting closer. It's getting closer all the time. Creeping. Creeping.
Cherry, stop saying that.
I think that's the expression I used before we came in here, wasn't it, Mrs. Martin?
Yes, and I forbid its use again.
Well, at least Cherry and I seem to have the same intuitive sense of impending danger.
How nice for Cherry.
Well, what do you mean?
But you and she has something in common. I wonder if you couldn't find something in common with me, too.
Such as?
Well, I like my initials embroidered on my pajamas.
I don't wear pajamas.
Oh, how exciting. Then you'd have to have your initials tattooed on your chest, wouldn't you?
Mr. Packard.
Yes?
I forbid you to indulge in conversation of this nature with my granddaughters.
It seems to be the only language Fay understands.
I forbid it.
You know, Mrs. Martin, you seem to dominate everyone and everything except your grandchildren. Why is that?
I can tell you why. She did dominate us when we were little and couldn't help ourselves. She made such hateful little prigs out of us, it was shameful.
You were nice children.
You bet. Nasty nice. And then one day, Job found out about firewater, and now he's devoting his life to it. And one day I found out that there are some wonderfully disgusting words in the English language for self-expression. I'm devoting my life to them. And Hope discovered chauffeurs, and she's devoting her life in that direction.
And what about Cherry here?
Oh, poor little mouse. She hasn't discovered much of anything yet, so she's devoting her life to being afraid.
I'm not afraid. If they weren't always after me, I wouldn't ever be afraid.
They have been after her for a long time. But now if they've come to life and are starting to cut her up, it may be getting serious.
Yes, I'm beginning to wonder. By the way, are any of you girls married?
Married, I should say not.
Is Job?
Certainly, Job's not married.
Then who's the parents of the baby we heard crying earlier?
Baby crying? You heard a baby crying?
Certainly. Just before Cherry here fell downstairs.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
It's impossible.
What are you talking about?
There's not a baby in the house. There hasn't been for years.
But I've heard it. I've heard it.
So she says.
Yes. And every time it cries, something horrible happens.
Well, I don't mind telling you. The more I see of this setup, the more I wish we'd gone on about our own business.
Jock, that isn't like you.
What ain't like me?
Why, here we are guests in a millionaire's home with 3 beautiful girls and only their grandmother to watch over them.
And what a grandma. Boy, I don't like her.
Doc's had it in for Grandma Martin since you sent us back up here to our quarters right after dinner.
Yeah, what'd she do that for? She think you're the only one in our outfit good enough to associate with the Martin family?
I can tell you why.
Well, I wish you would.
She said she wanted me to have a serious discussion with her granddaughters, and if there were too many eligible young men in the room, the girls wouldn't think of anything else.
Did she really say that, Jack?
She did. And when I said man crazy, she jumped all over me.
Well, these just plain ain't the kind of girls that I want to associate with. Not from what I seen of them. She ain't got nothing to worry from me.
Well, they have money.
Well, so have we. $25,000 reward money. And what I want to know is why we don't ditch this joint and get to spending it.
That'll have to wait.
Yeah, on what?
On the solution of the trouble that's breaking about this old grandmother's head.
Well, that ain't our hard luck.
I'm afraid it is. Now.
Why?
Because Mrs. Martin's begged us to stay and help her out.
I say, that haughty, stiff-necked female aristocrat begged you to stay here?
That's right. So you can see how desperate she must be.
But what's the matter? What we supposed to do?
None of it makes much sense yet, but I've got some tangled information. You want to hear it?
Naturally.
Now, throw me that other pillow, Reggie.
I know. Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, come on, settle down and let's have it.
All right. Now, let me give you a picture of the people in this house.
Oh, you've seen them all now.
No, I've only seen Grandmother Martin and 2 of the girls, Fay and Cherry. Fay described the others. First, Fay, or Faith, is the eldest. She describes herself as the vulgarian of the family.
Oh, I say.
The what?
Vulgarian. She shocks her Puritan grandmother every time she opens her lips. On the other hand, I have a good idea that she has more gray matter than all the rest of the family put together.
Good looking?
Yes, apparently all the Martin girls are extraordinarily beautiful. Well, that's Fay, the vulgarian. The next girl is Hope. Hope wasn't in on the conference tonight, although she'd been told to be there by her grandmother.
Yeah, where was she?
Sneaked out with the chauffeur.
Hey.
I say, one of the Martin girls?
Yes, according to Fay, this will be the 4th chauffeur to lose his job in 3 months on account of Hope. Fay's name for Hope is the family wench.
Well, no wonder Grandmother Martin is upset.
Fay, the vulgarian, Hope, the family wench. And now we come to Cherry.
Quite. And what is Cherry?
Well, Fay calls her Cherry, the terrified mouse.
Hey, that ain't so bad. She ain't spoke above a whisper since we come into the house. Are they still after her?
Well, there's no doubt that she has an obsession that someone's after her. But it looks like with good reason.
But you mean you think somebody in this house really is trying to kill her?
Well, I don't know whether they're trying to kill her, but they certainly are keeping her in a continual sweat of terror.
In what way, Jack?
First, slashing her arm. Second, pushing her down that flight of stairs.
Well, Grandma didn't take that very serious.
And neither did Fay at first. When she heard it, she said, "Oh, so the terrified mouse fell downstairs again."
Again?
Yes, looks like it was a common occurrence. But then I put in my 2 cents worth and scared the living daylights out of both Fay and Grandma.
Well, what'd you want to scare them for?
I didn't mean to. It wasn't until after I'd said it and saw their reaction that I knew it meant anything.
Well, come on. What did you say?
I said I heard a baby crying just before Cherry fell downstairs. Who does it belong to?
Well, what's so terrifying about that? Whose infant is it, Jack, and where's the nursery?
There isn't any nursery, and there isn't any baby.
Why, dang busted, Jack, there is too. We heard it.
There isn't any baby in this house.
You're being serious? I mean to say, we did hear it.
Cherry's been hearing it for some time now. She says every time the baby cries, something terrifying happens.
You mean a baby's haunting this house?
I don't mean anything of the kind.
Then what do you mean?
I don't know. I'm just stating what I've heard. Cherry's been complaining of hearing a baby crying in the house, and that every time she hears it, something vicious happens. The rest of the family have laid it to delusions.
Oh, but see here, Jack, what we heard was no delusion.
That's just the point. That's what frightened Fay and Grandma. The fact that we heard the baby proves that Cherry hasn't been talking through her head.
Doggone. Who ever heard of a house being haunted by a baby?
Rubbish.
Well, there it is, ain't it? A baby's voice and no baby.
It's a plot.
A plot, huh? Well, didn't Jack just get through saying that the kid cried just before something bad happened?
That's what that girl Cherry says.
And what she says is true on account. Looky, we heard the baby cry, and then right after that she was pushed downstairs.
Quite, I grant you that.
Well, okay. You mean to tell me whoever's doing all this is running around this house with a baby in his arms, pinching it to make it cry just before he gets ready to do some of his dirty work?
Well, that's pretty silly, Doc.
Well, of course it's silly. That's just what I'm saying. Besides, there ain't no baby in the house.
So what?
So it's got to be a baby ghost.
Oh, for the love of Pete, Doc.
Well, it has, Dad, blast it. A baby ghost in this house on account of there's so much trouble and so many things is wrong. And every time that something else starts to go wrong, it tries to warn folks by crying just before it happens.
Beautiful theory.
Well, you think of a better one.
Why?
Okay. The trouble with you and Reggie is that you wouldn't know a ghost if it come up and
laid an egg in my hat?
That's just plain vulgar.
Why?
Because ghosts don't lay eggs.
Oh?
Well, they don't.
All right. Now, do you want to hear the rest of my story?
Well, what about this baby cry?
That's all there is. You know as much about it as I do. And that also brings us up to date on Cherry.
Oh, Cherry, the terrified mouse. Hope, the family wench. And Fay, the Bulgarian.
And the last on our list is Job.
Oh, that's a brother, huh?
Yes, in age he comes between Fay and Hope. According to Fay, he's the one who's breaking Grandmother Martin's heart.
And has Fay a name for him, too?
Yes, Job the good-natured drunk.
Drunk, huh?
And what does Grandmother Martin say about that?
She tried to keep his name out of the conversation. Said he was the only one worthy of the family name. Fay, on the other hand, says he's never sober and has been taken by every crook and confidence man in Hollywood.
Just a never-ending easy mark, huh?
Looks like it. And Grandma's always paying out and covering up for him. For the good of the name of Martin.
Well, when are we going to meet him?
I don't know. When he comes home, I suppose.
Where is he now?
I tried to find out. No one seemed to know. Fay suggested some night spot with a well-stocked bar.
I say, nice boy. Company.
Sit still. Listen.
What's the matter, Jack?
Nothing. Just wait.
I say, whimsy.
I get it.
Hello.
Why, you little wench.
Oh, you've been talking to Fay.
Reggie, toss me a blanket.
What's that?
A blanket.
Not a wet blanket, I hope.
No, just toss it. There, I'll put this around you.
You don't like me this way.
No.
They cost a lot of money at the best shops.
Okay, so they cost a lot of money. Now, come on in.
Why didn't you like them? Handmade and imported French lace?
Now, keep that blanket around your shoulder. Here, sit down.
Whoopsie-daisy. I almost sat on the floor.
Drunk again.
Don't tell Grandma. I never had a drink in my life.
It's queer. No smell of liquor on her breath. She's as sober as we are.
I say, Jack, who is this?
Who am I? Guess. No, wait. I'll give you a clue. I'm not Faith and I'm not Charity. Now, who am I?
Your Hope.
That's right.
Why'd you knock on our door if you don't know who we are?
I saw a light. Thought I ought to investigate.
In long black stockings and a wisp of lace?
Imported French lace.
Where have you been?
No. Mustn't tell. Scandalous. Ruin the family name.
Out with the chauffeur, weren't you?
Shh, don't let Grandma hear.
Come on, now you're not drunk. Where's your dress? I said, where's your dress?
What dress?
Look here, Hope. You want me to shake your shoes off? Where did you leave your dress?
You didn't want me to wear a dress with blood on it, did you?
Hey.
What did you say?
Of course not. Nobody wants to wear a dress with blood on it. It's ugly. Doesn't match the color scheme.
Hope, listen to me. What kind of a dress were you wearing?
Slip-on, slip-off dress. I always wear slip-on, slip-off dress.
I mean, what was the material? What color?
Green. My favorite color. Green flowers.
Now then, where'd you leave it?
Slipped out of it in the dark downstairs. Tossed it to Bob. Bob's a good egg. He'll get rid of it. Nobody ever find it.
Who's Bob?
Best chauffeur Martin family ever had.
Is he home? Did he bring you home?
Yep. Bang, bang. Man shot dead right across our table. I got blood on my dress, so Bob says, quick, let's get the 10-letter word out of here. I always say 10-letter word for swearing.
Doc, Reggie, I want you to go down and find the chauffeur.
I don't. Bring him here?
If you'll come, anyway, get Hope's dress back.
Jack.
Yeah?
Look at her right leg. There's something on her stocking. Looks like blood, all right.
There is?
Here, keep that blanket on. Unfasten your stocking. Let her slip down.
Oh, naughty.
Crazy little fool. There's been murder. Do you want the evidence splattered all over you? Yeah, that's better. Well, what are you two standing there for?
Well, if Hope could tell us where the chauffeur's quarters are.
Chauffeur's quarters? Over garage. Chauffeur's quarters always over garage.
Righto. Come on, Doc.
Yeah, okay. Hey, what's that? Listen. The baby.
The baby. The baby.
Stop that. Jack, there's just got to be a baby in this house. Jack, I say, which way did that scream come from? Down the stairs. Down the stairs. Well, come on. The baby, and then something happens.
Down the stairs, this way.
The baby, and then something happens. The baby,
Stop
and then
saying
something
that,
happens.
Doc.
Something happens.
Oh, there she is. There in the chair.
I say, who is she?
Mrs. Fay. Fay, what's the matter?
Out there by the hall entrance. He's dead. He's dead.
Dead? Who's dead?
The chauffeur. The chauffeur. And he's got Hope's dress. All over with blood.
People are so dead when they're dead, aren't they?
Not a very suitable sentiment for the occasion. No, don't touch anything.
Fay-ho is the Bulgarian Martin they call. What are you doing?
I'm trying to discover if there are any clues in the vicinity of this corpse that might implicate any member of the Martin family.
You want to implicate one of us?
No, but I want to know what we're up against before the police arrive.
Why not the Marines and the Navy?
The police have to be called, you know that.
Why?
Can't ask sensible questions, don't ask any. Whoever shot this man must have used a silencer. Otherwise, we'd have heard the shot.
A good-natured drunk has a gun with a silencer.
Your brother Joe?
Mm-hmm. And I still want to know why we have to call the police.
Murder's the policeman's business.
Not this murder. This is the Martin family's own private little bloodletting party.
You think someone in this house committed the crime?
Naturally.
Who?
First, tell me where you sent your two friends.
Doc and Reggie?
Mm-hmm. 10 minutes after we find the corpse with the curly hair here, they go kiting out of the house like men on a mission. The question is, where? Why?
They're out scouring the nightclubs and drinking places for your brother.
Job isn't worth it.
Worth what?
The trouble you're taking to find him.
I want to know where he is and what he's been doing tonight. I want witnesses who will swear that he hasn't been near this house all evening.
Why?
So that we'll be all set for the police when they start asking questions.
When are the police going to start asking questions?
As soon as they get here.
When will they be here?
As soon as I call them.
And when are you going to call them?
When I'm satisfied I know as much about this situation here as they'll be able to find out.
Aren't you obstructing justice or something? I mean, waiting about notifying them?
Maybe. Now then, why do you think this man was killed by someone in the house?
Because almost everyone in the house had a reason.
Everyone had a reason to want to kill the chauffeur? Was he that important to this household?
I hope to tell you. Bob the chauffeur, now Bob the corpse, was putting the screws on the Martins.
In what way?
Well, let's start at the top of the list and work down. First grandma. Blackmail to hush scandal concerning Job and Hope.
What sort of scandal?
Job and a girl. Job hates girls, so I know it was a frame, but it was good enough to make headlines in the paper.
Oh, what about Hope?
Hope can't let chauffeurs alone. Hope, the family wench, was so deeply involved with our new cadaver here that one word from him and the whole world would know what she is.
By the way, right this minute, Hope is upstairs asleep in my room.
Oh, a gentleman wouldn't.
No, don't be a fool. We left her in our room and we heard you scream and rush downstairs. Went up a few minutes ago. She'd crawled into my bed and was fast asleep.
Maybe you'd like to explain to her elder sister what she was doing in your room in the first place.
She knocked on the door. I opened it, and there she stood in a wisp of lace and a pair of black silk stockings.
You mean the dress this thing was holding in its hands when I found it down here was the dress Hope had been wearing this evening?
That's right.
Well, that's pretty raw.
No, not as bad as it sounds. They were out together. Wherever they were, a man was killed and blood got on Hope's dress. When she got home, she gave the dress to the chauffeur to ditch.
Oh? Well, then he must have been killed as he was going out the front door with the dress.
Exactly.
From the outside.
Yes, he was shot from outside the house.
Then that eliminates Hope.
Why?
As flagrant as Hope is, she wouldn't be running about the streets with no dress on. And you said our hero had the dress in his hands when he was killed.
Well, it's a pretty thin alibi. She didn't mind coming up and rapping on my door. Besides, she was floating about on pink clouds.
Oh, you're crazy.
I don't think so.
I tell you, you are. Hope hates alcohol. It makes her violently ill.
I didn't say she was drunk. She wasn't. No sign of alcohol. But something had given her a fine case of the blind staggers.
Something screwy. You think Hope did this, then?
I know she didn't. She was in my room for about 20 minutes, and whatchamacallit here hadn't been dead 5 minutes, and we got down to him.
Then Hope's in the clear?
Yes. Wish I could say as much about the rest of the family.
You haven't anything on me.
I haven't. But the police may have, or can they get it?
What do you mean?
Simply, if you've got anything up your sleeve, you'd better spill it, so I'll be standing by to give a hand. The police are going to find out everything you wish they wouldn't. So you tell me first, so I can be ready for them.
What have you got to gain by all this Boy Scout stuff?
I told your grandmother we'd help her out of a mess. This, apparently, is the mess she meant, so talk fast.
Well, if I was the murdering kind, Curly Locks here would be my first victim.
Why?
He talks. And he talks lies. It came to my ears that he had passed the word around among the servants of the neighborhood that the Martin women were pushovers.
Is that excuse for murder?
Servants don't talk about me like that. Not even if it were true, they don't.
But you fire servants, not murder them.
Not if the servant has a death hold on the family and you can't get loose.
You're referring to his hold on Job and Hope?
Mm-hmm.
He had nothing on you personally?
No.
Uh-huh. Now then, where were you during the time of the murder?
I don't know when the murder was.
All right. Where were you 15 or 20 minutes before you found the body?
I was down in the furnace room.
At this time of night?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Burning some personal letters.
Go on.
That's all. Just burning some personal letters.
You think you can tell the police you were down in the basement at 9 o'clock at night burning personal letters and stop there?
If that's all there is.
Oh, you're smarter than that. What did those letters have to do with the chauffeur and his sudden demise?
Why, nothing.
You're not making a very good representation for yourself.
I'm not trying to. I'm just telling the truth.
But not all the truth.
Enough.
Very well, you were down burning letters. Then what?
I was just coming back up to the main floor when I heard a baby laughing and cooing.
Oh, you heard the baby?
Yes, what does it mean?
Your sister Cherry says every time the baby is heard in this house, tragedy occurs.
She certainly hit it on the nose this time.
Yes, didn't she? By the way, doesn't it seem a little strange to you that with your screaming when you found the body and all the running about the house that's been done since then, your grandmother and Cherry haven't been aroused?
Grandmother and Cherry's rooms are on the 3rd floor.
They couldn't hear?
No.
Well, don't you think your grandmother ought to be told before I call the police?
I don't know.
I think she shouldn't.
Why?
Well, after all, she's head of this house. She should have some say as to what the police are told.
There's going to be an awful scene when she finds out.
Nevertheless. Now, look, I'm almost finished here. Go up and get her and bring her down. Also, while you're up there, get Hope out of my room and take her to her room.
But you haven't asked me about Cherry yet.
Well, what about Cherry?
I mean whether she might have a reason for killing the family leech.
Well, has she?
No.
Great. Now will you go?
And Job.
I know all about Job I need to know for now. Oh, wait, there is one thing about Job. You say he has a gun with a silencer?
Mm-hmm.
You know where he keeps it?
Yes, in his bureau drawer.
While you're upstairs, look and see if it's there.
Yes, if you think that...
I don't think anything. Now go on. There's something I've got to do, and I don't want you here when I do it.
You mean Hope's dress?
Never mind.
What are you going to do with it?
I didn't say I was going to do anything with it.
But you are.
Well, what you don't know, you can't tell. Now go do the things I've told you to.
All right, but hurry. Grandma'll be down here 2 steps at a time the minute she hears. Oh, the furnace is a swell place for Hope's dress.
I think they call it destruction of evidence. Sorry, old boy, but I need this dress more than you do.
Didn't I tell you?
Oh, it's you.
I'm Cherry. Don't you remember me?
Why aren't you in bed?
They're in my room.
Who's in your room?
They. Look what they did to me.
What do you mean?
On my shoulder. Right through my pajamas.
Well, you're bleeding.
I know it.
You mean someone came in your room and slashed you?
Yes.
Here, let me see. Exactly like the cut on your arm.
Sometime they'll get tired of frightening me, and then they'll kill me. Didn't I tell you?
Didn't you tell me what?
That every time the baby cries, something dreadful happens.
The baby didn't cry. It laughed.
I know. That's because one of our enemies was killed.
What do you mean?
When it's an enemy, the baby laughs. When one of us is in danger, he cries.
You're getting just a little wacky on the subject of babies, aren't you?
No, it's true. You wait and see.
Now, look, Jerry, you go up to my room and wait for me. I'm busy. As soon as I've finished, I'll come up and put a dressing on that cut.
I hope the baby doesn't cry anymore tonight. I can't sleep when he cries.
If you don't get... Wait a minute. Someone's out on the porch.
Why don't you close the door?
The body's right in the door. Can't move it until the police come. Hold it.
Pardon me? My hair. I thought this is where I lived.
It's Job.
Inexcusable. Man must be pretty spifflicated when he walks into the morgue and thinks he's home.
This is your home, Joe.
It is?
Yes.
Oh. What's this cadaver doing blocking up my doorway?
He was just killed there.
Oh. Thought it was a corpse trying to escape from the morgue. Shall I step over?
If you want to come in, I'm afraid you'll have to. Here, give me a hand. I'll help you over.
Nice burning. I think I'm going to like you.
There you are.
Easy step. Not a very wide man. By the way, who are you?
Name's Jack Packard.
Are you by any chance the murderer?
I'm afraid not.
That's good. Nice job. Hanging's too good for you. Much too good.
You think so, huh?
Well, I'm afraid I put it badly. But you know what I mean. Oh. Hello, Cherry.
Hello?
Friend of yours?
No.
Oh, thought maybe he was. Pajamas such awfully bad taste in the company of a strange man.
I'm scared.
Poor little terrified mouse. By the way, would it be breach of etiquette for me to ask the name of the visiting corpse?
He's your chauffeur.
Not Bob the Bandit.
Well, you seem pleased.
Oh, frightfully. Who had the good sense to do it?
We thought maybe it was you.
That's a tribute. Great tribute. Should have. I never got around to it.
A gun with a silencer was yours.
Consider it murder. No noise. Don't disturb the neighbors.
I understand you have such a gun.
Oh, so I have.
Where is it now?
Upstairs in my bureau drawer.
I hope you're telling the truth, Job.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope I am, too.
How about a few lights, Mrs. Martin?
Nobody calls me Mrs. I don't like it.
What then?
If Randolph Martin isn't good enough for you, call me grandmother. Everyone else does.
Very well. Grandmother Randolph, let's have some lights.
Why?
Unhealthy ideas grow in darkness.
Unhealthy ideas.
Murder's an unhealthy idea.
What are you talking about? Murder's not in this house.
You should know better than that. You saw one of its victims carried out of here last night. You, with the rest of your family, spent most of the night explaining your whereabouts to the police.
Such a fuss over a chauffeur. Not a very good chauffeur at that.
I won't argue that.
Furthermore, the police had their gall suspecting that anyone in this house had anything to do with it.
On the other hand, it's surprising to me they didn't take the whole family down and lock you up.
What are you saying?
Grandmother Randolph, you brought my two companions and me here to get your grandchildren out of some kind of a mess. Isn't that true?
Yes.
You haven't given us the first inkling of what that mess is.
If I knew, do you think I'd call for outside help?
Well, it should be plain even to you that the murder of the family chauffeur is part of that mess.
Nonsense. The police themselves said that he wasn't really a chauffeur, but a member of a confidence ring working here in the motion picture colony.
Nevertheless, he was killed in your house while in your employ.
By members of a rival gang.
Do you know what your chauffeur was doing last night before he came home and got himself shot?
No.
Yes, you do.
If you know that, why do you ask me?
You know that he was out with your granddaughter, Hope, and that he was killed less than 10 minutes after Hope said goodnight to him when they returned.
The police don't know that.
No. Neither do they know that your chauffeur killed a man in a drinking joint out at the beach last night.
What's that?
That he killed the man in the presence of Hope, and that the man fell across their table and bled on Hope's dress. That she gave the dress to the chauffeur to get rid of, and that he still had the dress in his hand when he was shot dead in your front door.
How do you know this, if the police don't?
I've had Doc and Reggie out investigating all night. They just got in half an hour ago. They're up getting some sleep now.
But why don't the police know?
Because the resort where your chauffeur killed his man was a hideout spot for shady characters. Now, don't worry. They'll find out in due time.
My granddaughter, Hope, was in a hideout for criminals?
Yes, I want to ask her about that myself.
Who was the man he killed?
Now, you can read all about that in the paper. Some gambler. They found his body in one of the canyons out on the way up to Malibu Beach.
And shortly after he killed this gambler at this place, my chauffeur himself was killed in my doorway.
That's right.
Then doesn't that prove it was somebody outside, someone revenging himself for the death of the gambler?
There's that possibility, of course.
You seem very anxious to connect this murder with my family, Mr. Packard.
No, I hope you're right. But there are too many suspicious things going on in this house. The center of all the trouble is right here. I'm sure of that.
I've noticed nothing suspicious.
That's not true. You just got through saying the reason you brought Doc and Reggie and me here was because you were uneasy.
What have you noticed?
Well, first, your eldest granddaughter, Fay. She talks loud and vulgar and pretends to be vastly amused. But she's frightened.
Fay, frightened?
Last night, she took some private papers down to the basement and burned them. Why?
I don't know.
Neither do I, but I intend to find out. Then Hope. Why did she go to that beach resort last night? Why did she pretend to be drunk when she came home when she was perfectly sober?
I don't know.
And Cherry. She's been slashed twice and pushed downstairs by someone she's never seen. Why does she talk in that frightened whisper? Who does she mean when she says they are after her? And what does she mean that Hope and her brother Job are in the worst danger?
You can leave Cherry out of this. It's a lot of romantic nonsense.
Twice slashed and thrown downstairs? You call that romantic nonsense? And the baby.
There isn't any baby.
I beg your pardon. I've heard it twice now.
There isn't any baby, I tell you.
Once it cried, and right after that, Cherry was hurled downstairs. Once it laughed and gurgled, and we found the chauffeur shot dead.
It's ridiculous on the face of it. Babies don't laugh and cry on a given cue. How would a baby know that Cherry was about to fall downstairs? How would a baby know that my chauffeur was about to be murdered?
Cherry says the baby cries when someone in the house is in danger. That it laughs when some enemy of the house is in danger.
Cherry's a little fool.
And protestations don't change facts. And facts indicate that something pretty vicious, something cold and calculating and terribly cruel has been unleashed in this house.
You're trying to frighten me.
No, I'm not. I'm reporting to you as my employer, what I've found. And now let's discuss your grandson, Job, for a moment.
Indeed, we will not.
Yes, we will. Because Job owns a gun with a silencer on it. And it was a gun with a silencer that killed the chauffeur.
Job wasn't even home.
So he says. But the gun's disappeared, and the chauffeur was killed with the same caliber gun as the one Job possessed.
The police don't know?
No, the police don't know this. But I do. And I also know that when Job came home and saw the body in the doorway, he was pretty casual about it.
He wasn't feeling well.
Well, he was intoxicated, I grant you. But even so, he should have been a little surprised and concerned at finding a body lying across the threshold, which he wasn't.
I forbid you to talk like that.
You can't do that.
I can't forbid you to talk?
No.
But I can most certainly remove you from this house.
But you won't.
Why not?
Because then I'll be forced to turn over all my information to the police.
You wouldn't dare.
Yes, I would. If we're kept on to solve the murder in our own way, we'll try to protect you and your grandchildren's names. If you make it impossible for us to work on the case, then we'll have to let the police do it.
I don't trust you.
Well, that depends on what you mean by trust. If no one in this house has committed murder, then we'll cover up for you till the cows come home.
If it should have been someone here.
Then we'll root him out and turn him over to justice.
I know it. You can't be trusted.
Well, look here. Are you trying to tell me that you think someone in this house committed murder and you brought us here to help you cover up for them?
No, of course not.
It sounds very much like it.
No, all I'm asking you is to be sure. No circumstantial evidence such as the police would use. I'm sure none of my grandchildren has done anything wrong, no matter how much it looks it.
Oh, that's it. You want them protected from court action and publicity until we've cleared them or proved them guilty.
Yes, if they are innocent, and I know they are, to face a charge of murder would ruin us.
You have my word. No one will touch them until we know for sure.
Thank you.
Now then, I've got to talk to Hope and Job. Are they in their rooms?
Yes, it was 5 o'clock this morning before the police left. They're all sleeping.
Well, they should be awake by this time. I'm going up. Listen.
It's a baby crying.
Now maybe you'll believe.
But there isn't any baby.
Wait a minute. That's the warning. Someone's in danger. Quick, upstairs to the bedrooms.
Jack, did you hear that? The baby.
I know it. Come on, Doc. Help me. Look in all the bedrooms.
You bet. Whose room's this?
That's Faye's room. Don't bother to knock.
Hey, what's the idea? Can't a girl go to bed in this house?
Nope, she's all right.
What's the idea of raiding a girl's bedroom?
The baby. Someone's in danger.
The baby. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Hey, wait for me.
This is Job's room.
Doc, run up the third floor and look in Cherry's room.
You bet you. On the run.
Yeah.
Well, this is my old friend from the morgue.
No, so you're up and dressed. You all right?
It never better in my life. Have a little drink?
Aren't you ever sober? Didn't you hear that baby crying?
I dreamed about a baby last night. Red hair. She was in a French bikini bathing suit.
Nuts.
Is Job all right, is he?
Drunk. Which is Hope's room?
This way. This way.
It's either got to be Hope or Cherry.
This room. What's that smell?
Chloroform. Get those windows open.
Look, the pillows over Hope's face.
Get that window open. Do you hear me?
Yes. Is she dead? Is she dead?
No, she's alive.
But she looks so white.
Get out of the way. I'm going to lift her out of bed and take her over that window.
What shall I do?
Just get out of the way. There.
What is it? What's the matter with Hope?
Somebody tried to kill her with chloroform.
Faith, haven't you an ounce of modesty? Go get something over that nightgown.
But, Grandma, they tried to kill Hope.
Get something on over that nightgown.
Oh, horse feathers.
Here, put this blanket around before I smack you.
Apparently my modesty is more important than Hope's life.
Now then, Mr. Packard.
Forget it. She's going to be all right.
What's this nonsense about chloroform?
Use your nose. Another 15 minutes, you'd have been minus one granddaughter.
Here, put this blanket around Hope.
What's the matter with you? Your granddaughter near death, and all you can think about is my seeing her in pajamas.
I'll keep my granddaughter's modest if this house falls down around my ears.
Greetings and salutations, Grandma, old girl.
Joe, go back to your room.
What? Mr. Fun?
Joe, you're in no condition to be here. Go back to your room.
What's this? Love in our midst. The man from the morgue holding the family wench in his arms, huh?
Joe, you're impossible. Hope is almost chloroformed. She's unconscious.
Oh, no, not Hope. She's only playing dead. She likes it.
Get that drunken fool out of here.
Please, Job, come with me.
Poor, pathetic old Grandma. have a lot of trouble with your family of rats, don't you?
Job, be a good boy.
All right. Bye-bye, man from the morgue. Great old house we live in, isn't it, Grandma?
The Martin family at home.
Doesn't your brother like Hope?
He adores her. She's his favorite sister.
Funny way of showing it.
Nothing gets under his skin when he's in that condition.
It seems to be all the time.
Look, how is she?
Better than I hoped for. It'll take her a couple, 3 hours to sleep off the effects of the chloroform. Now we can put her back in bed now.
One of her feet is there, so look the other way.
Your grandmother's a little touched on the subject of modesty, isn't she?
I think she must bathe in long underwear.
There. I'll just cover her like that.
Jack, look what I got. Poor little feller.
Jerry, what's the matter with her?
She's unconscious. This is just like I found her.
Now lay her down. Let me see her.
Looky at her. Clothes doggone near tore off her. Oh, looky at that bruise on her leg.
Here she's bleeding on the back. Turn her over.
Yeah, I know it. There.
Oh, what happened? What happened?
Hey, Jack, look. She's been slashed again.
Yes, 3 times, right above the hip. Not deep.
Like it'd been done with a safety razor blade.
You Martin girls are certainly unpopular with somebody.
Ain't it the truth? Murder sure is on the loose in this man's house. Reggie, I swear to my grandma, I ain't never seen a screwier set up than this one.
Crying. Deucedly interesting, though, isn't it?
You mean all these female women are running around in flimsy wisps of lace wanting to be rescued?
No, I don't mean female women running around in wisps of lace.
The thing that bothers me is there ain't no sense to nothing.
Well, I imagine things will make plenty of sense once we get on the right track.
For instance, what's Jack got us up here patrolling this hall for?
But naturally, Doc, after the attempt to kill Hope and Cherry.
Yeah, I know, but why is he making everybody stay in his own bedroom? Job over in that room pie-eyed, Hope across the hall still sleeping off a chloroform, Fay and Cherry in the next room. How come he let Cherry go in with Fay anyway?
Because her room's up on the 3rd floor, for one thing.
Well, so's Grandma Martin's. Yet Jack's once, he went and let her go up there alone.
Crime? Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, we're guarding everybody but Grandma. I wonder why that is.
Well, I suppose Jack thinks she's not in any danger.
Just the 3 girls and Job, huh?
Another reason for putting Cherry with Fay.
Yeah?
She's just recovering from this new attack on her. Downright brutal, if you ask me, and I don't think she's going to be able to take much more of it.
You talking about Cherry?
Yes, that beastly, strained expression on her face. Desperation. She shouldn't be left alone for a moment until this business is settled, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, what do you suppose Jack's doing?
I think he's going over the house, room by room.
But we already done that, Reggie.
Not with any great care. Just made sure there was no one in the house besides those who belong here.
Well, what's he expect to find?
Well, if someone was in the house long enough to give Hope chloroform and tear Cherry's clothes and slash her, he must have left some clue of his presence.
And anybody leave anything around, Jack's the hombre to find it.
Quiet.
You know, that's the funny thing about Cherry. Of course, it was dark in her room, but even if it was, it's kind of queer that she didn't get some idea of the slasher while she was fighting him off.
Too terrified, I suppose. Mind froze on her.
Well, anyway, whether it was a man or a woman...
I have an idea it was a woman myself.
Yeah?
I think Jack does, too. Did you see those scratches on her neck and arm? A man's fingernails aren't ordinarily long enough to do that.
Hey, I didn't notice that. Hey, Fay's door's open.
Cherry, you little fool, come back here.
Now, looky, Cherry, you can't come out here.
But I've got to.
But you look ill. You should be lying down.
I'm all right.
She insists that she's got to see Job.
I've got to.
Now, looky. Jack said that you all got to stay where he put you until he said you could come out. And he sent us up here to see that you stayed put.
But it's important.
Besides, Brother Job's so spifflicated, nothing would make sense to him anyway.
I don't care. I love him, and he's in danger.
But he can't be in any immediate danger. We've been right outside his door all the time.
Oh, I'm going.
What you think we ought to do, Reggie?
Well, look here. Suppose I go hunt up Jack and ask him.
Yeah, you do that.
But I mustn't
No,
wait.
I'll only be a minute or two.
When the terrified mouse gets an idea into her head, there isn't much use arguing with her.
But it's important.
Well, it's going to have to wait until Reggie gets back. Now, looky, Cherry. You should get out of them torn clothes. What you still wearing them for?
I offered to help her get out of them and put on one of my bathrobes, but try to talk her into anything that makes sense.
You ain't sewed in them for the winter, are you?
I'm afraid to go up to my room to get anything else.
I told you could have something of mine.
No.
Well, what you scared of your room for? It ain't nobody up there now.
Maybe there is.
Hey, no, there ain't. We give your room a going over.
They like my room. They can come any time they want to.
You mean there's a secret door or something?
No, there's no secret door.
Then how the heck then they come to your room any time they want to?
I don't know.
And I'm getting pretty fed up with these they folks. Who are they anyhow?
I don't know.
You know, Faye, she just plain don't make sense.
Don't look at me. I'm a stranger here myself.
Yeah. Hey, looky, Cherry. Are they the ones who got the baby that bawls every time something's about to happen?
I don't know. I think so.
That baby gag gets me down. A house full of widows, spinsters, and neurotics. What's a baby doing here?
Well, maybe the stork brought it.
Oh, don't be silly. There hasn't been a stork seen in this neighborhood since the year of the big freeze.
You know, that's darn funny about this house. Here you are, 3 of the prettiest girls I ever laid eyes on. And ain't even one of you got a boyfriend.
Hope had one, but he's in the corpse department just at present.
You mean that chauffeur?
Who else?
But, well, that ain't no honest-to-goodness boyfriend like you girls should ought to have. Well, you got everything, Faye. What's the matter with you?
I'm immune.
That ain't normal.
So what?
So it ain't normal.
Maybe I was born in a refrigerator and never thawed out.
What about you, Cherry?
I've got to talk to Job.
Well, you'll just have to wait till Reggie gets back. Ain't you interested in men?
Yes.
You are? Well, why ain't you got a feller then?
They won't let me.
Hey, now, look, that ain't no answer. I don't care who they are. Nobody can keep a girl from having a boyfriend if she wants one.
I tell you, they won't let me.
Well, why not?
They don't want any of us to know a man. They're afraid we'll marry and have children.
Terry, what are you talking about?
True. They want the Martin family to end right here.
Darned if I don't think you're talking to your hat. Oh, here comes Reggie.
Can I go to Job now?
Now, hold your horses. What about it, Reggie?
It's all right for her to go in, but first Jack wants her clothes.
Hey!
Please, Mr. York.
Oh, but I say... I mean, he positively wants them. Wants me to bring them down to him immediately.
Well, it's hardly ever done. I mean, just asking a girl for clothes.
Well, if Jack wants them, he's going to get them. Now, go on back in Faye's room, Cherry, and take them off.
If I do, then can I see Job?
Yep, so hurry up.
Yes, you'll have to put on something of mine.
No, I won't.
Then how about me going up and getting something for her out of her room?
No, but you can't do that. But Reggie can.
Oh, look here now.
Now, go on, Reggie's. Pajamas and a bathrobe. Anything you can find.
Now I'm a bally lady's maid, and I resent it.
Okay, get inside and shove things through a crack in the door, fast as they come off.
All right, here, I'll help you, Terry. What's the idea, anyway?
Probably wants to examine them for clues.
Here you are.
Okay, a dress.
What's he expect to find? Slip.
I don't know. Slip.
Your shoes.
Shoes.
Stockings.
Yeah, stockings.
All right, here you are.
A top doodad, a bottom doodad. That all?
Isn't that enough? What do you want, her skin?
Oh, did you get something, Reggie?
There's a whole armful of stuff. She should find something in this.
Yes, she ought to, all right. Here you are, Faye.
What? All this?
Well, she don't have to put it all on.
Well, that's good of you. All right, get into some of this junk, Mouse, then you can go and see the good-natured drunk.
I'd better take these clothes down to Jack.
Stick around until she goes across to Job's room. Where is Jack?
Down in the library. He's got quite a collection of stuff down there.
Such as what?
I didn't get much chance to examine it. Things he's picked up around the house.
Well, anyway, you don't look quite so bedraggled now. All right, boys, let's go.
Hurry. I've waited too long now.
Okay. Come on. You better come along, too, Faye.
So you can keep an eye on me?
Yeah, something like that. Okay, now, Cherry. We'll give you 5 minutes with him.
That's all I want.
All right, Job, here's a visitor. Hey.
Doc, what is it?
Well, where the heck is he?
He's gone. I knew he was. I knew it.
Well, why the heck didn't you say so then? How'd he get out?
Here's how he got out, opened the window, and slid down the drain pipe.
Well, that's great. Jack's going to be mighty proud of us.
But look here. Why would he want to do a thing like that for?
Silly question number 1.
What you mean?
You didn't think Brother Job would stay put without plenty of liquid refreshment, did you?
You mean he sneaked out for a few snorts?
But he shouldn't have. He must come back right away. He must.
Why must he?
They'll get him. They'll get him this time. I know they will.
Is that what you wanted to tell him?
Yes. I wanted to tell him to stay here where you could watch him. They're just waiting.
Reggie, get downstairs and tell Jack what's happening.
Right. Don't leave the girls alone for a minute, Doc.
Come on, you two. Get back into Faye's room.
Come on, Mouse.
Why did he go?
Because he likes the taste of the stuff.
He's breaking Grandma's heart.
Well, Grandma broke his spirit. Turnabout's fair play.
No, you mustn't say that, Faye.
Hey, wait a minute. I want to look in and see if Hope's all right. You two wait right here by the door so I can see you all the time. Don't neither of you move. Yeah, she's all right. Poor little fella. Keep right on and sleeping, honey.
She's all right?
Yeah, sleeping like a baby. All right, come on back to your room.
Hey, how much longer you three super sleuths think you're going to keep us undercover?
Until Jack says to let you act.
Well, I'm getting pretty sick of being a prisoner in my own house.
We're just doing it for your own good.
It isn't any good locking us up.
It ain't, huh?
No. When they want to strike, they'll strike whether you're here or not.
And what you think we'll be doing all that time?
It won't make any difference what you're doing. If you understood, you'd know that.
Well, then, why don't you come out and make us understand?
You can't. Nobody understands but me.
She's psychic.
I don't know. I just know, that's all.
Well, all I gotta say is, if you hadn't told us so much that's come true already, I'd say you were the screwiest screwball dame I ever did see. You wasn't so little and purty along with it.
Hey, here comes Reggie back. He's going to get mighty sick of those stairs if this keeps up.
How about it, Reggie? What's Jack say?
Well, he's going out to find Job. While he's gone, he doesn't want us to leave the girls for a second.
Oh, stick right with him, huh?
Right, I'm to go and sit in my Hope's bed and stay right beside her.
And I'm to chaperone Fay and Cherry, huh?
Right, go in Fay's room with them. Don't let either one of them out of your sight.
What about Grandma upstairs?
Oh, leave her alone. She won't be bothered. It's the girls that are in danger.
Oh, no.
Hey, what's the matter?
He did it. He did it again. Look.
Her shoulder. She's been slashed again.
Yes, they did it. They did it.
Cherry, how did it happen?
I don't know. I was just standing here. I felt a sting on my shoulder.
She's been slashed, all right, just like the others.
It isn't possible. We were all standing right here. There isn't anyone else.
Yes, there is. They were here. They were here.
Cherry, stop it.
They slashed me. They slashed me.
Reggie, keep changing those cold compresses on Job's head. I want to bring him around as quickly as possible.
All right. Shall I let his head hang over the foot of the lounge this way?
Yes, that'll bring the blood up where he needs it most.
Doggone, fella, you must have popped Brother Job a whopper.
I had to.
Well, what happened?
Well, the minute you told me he'd escaped from his bedroom and slid down the drain pipe, I dropped everything and went after him.
But how'd you know where to look, Jack?
Where would you look for a thirsty man? The nearest bar.
And he was there?
Yes, just getting ready to go on to bigger and better things.
And you said come on back, and he wouldn't come, so you floored him.
Something like that. You sure all the girls are locked up in their bedrooms, so there's no chance of them getting out?
Yeah, and I don't mind saying they resent it.
They'll just have to resent.
Boy, the things Fay said would have skinned a mule.
Living up to a reputation as the family vulgarian, huh?
No fooling. Doggone, no, I hated to take that little old Cherry girl back up to her room. She didn't want to go so bad. Why'd you insist on it?
Because I want each girl locked up separately. Hope still unconscious?
She's just sleeping now, I think. Seems like Grandma's keeping awful close to her room up on the 3rd floor.
She's all right.
Jack, you say you want the 3 girls locked up separately. Why?
I want to see what'll happen.
You mean if the baby'll cry, then one of them gets the business?
Yes.
But ain't that dangerous? This time one of them might get killed.
How? If they can't get out, how can anyone get into them?
You got me, feller. But Cherry insists they can. It's just like her getting sliced on the shoulder out yonder in the hall when we was all standing right there.
Did you have your eyes on Fay all the time?
I say, hey, you mean...
I just asked if you had your eyes on Fay all the time.
Well, no, of course not. But what would Fay want to go and slash her sister for? And more than that, Cherry said they did it.
All right, they did it. But couldn't Fay be one of them?
Job, I'd never thought of that.
There's a woman in this someplace. Whoever tore her clothes and slashed her up in her room earlier this afternoon was a woman.
You mean those fingernail scratches on her neck and shoulder?
Yes, they were narrow and pointed.
Fay's nails are like that.
Most women's are these days.
Doggone, but I'm balled up.
About what?
About everything. You think maybe Fay shot the chauffeur last night, too?
She had the opportunity.
But she screamed and brought us down when she found him.
Why not? Make it look like she was innocent.
Yeah, she could have, all right.
Yes, but why would she want to?
Well, she may have done it to keep her sister Hope from becoming involved. Or she may have seen him leaving the front door with Hope's dress in her hands and, believing the worst, killed him on the spot.
Yeah, but that'd mean that she was prowling around the house with a gun in her hand. What'd she want to be doing that for?
Well, she knew Hope was out with him. She might have gone to Job's room, got his gun with a silencer, and waited for them to come back.
Well, we know the gun that killed him had a silencer, all right.
And that gun was Job's.
You sure about that?
Certainly. How many guns with silencers have you seen in your life?
Oh, couple or 3.
Which means that guns equipped for silence are about as scarce as hen's teeth.
Right, I get your point.
Well, if Fay is the one, you going to turn the information over to police?
Not yet. I want to know for sure. I talked to the police, and they're sure the chauffeur was a gangster and that he was wiped out by rival gunmen. Let them work on that theory. We'll go on working on this angle.
Then you think for sure what's going on is an inside job?
Well, maybe not entirely, but there's someone working on the inside.
Finger for the gang on the outside, huh?
Something like that.
And it's Fay?
Well, certainly her skirts aren't any too clean.
But why? What's it all about?
You know as much as I do, Doc. They may be trying to frighten Grandma Martin into paying blackmail. She knows something about this she's not telling, that's certain.
But that's silly. Why'd she bring us in here to clear up this mess and then hold out information on us?
Afraid to tell us? Trying to protect someone? How do I know?
Yeah.
Jack, Job's conscious.
What's that?
Quite. Had his eyes open, closed them again when he saw me looking at him.
All right, Job.
Oh, what a head.
Can you sit up?
I don't know.
Well, come on, try it.
Oh. Say, what'd you hit me for?
Because you wanted to argue about coming back, and I didn't have time to argue.
Wasn't very friendly.
I'm not here to be friendly. You sober?
Yeah, I feel terrible.
I'm not surprised.
I always feel terrible when I'm sober.
Like a fish out of water, huh?
Look, be a good guy. There's a bottle of brandy in the buffet.
Go get it, Reggie.
Righto.
Job,
Well,
there isn't a doubt in the world your gun killed the chauffeur. Now, where is it?
it's gone.
I know it's gone. Where to?
I don't know. I looked in my bureau drawer for it. It wasn't there.
Why do you keep a gun with a silencer?
It was a birthday present from Faye.
Hey, a birthday present from Faye.
Yes.
But why would she give you a present like that?
I always thought it would be fun to have one, so she got it.
Here you are, Jack.
No, I'll just take the bottle.
On the other hand, you get one drink. That's all.
One drink.
Maybe after you've talked a while, you can have another. Here. That better?
A little.
Job, did you approve of Hope running around with a family chauffeur?
Hope is old enough to vote.
Isn't it the fact that your grandmother fired the last 4 chauffeurs because they were too friendly with Hope?
Sure.
As the man of the family, what did you think of this?
Grandma wears the pants in this family.
You had no desire for revenge on them for dragging your sister down to their level?
Look, we got a motto in this house. You mind your business and I'll mind mine.
So you're willing to look the other way, no matter what happened to your sisters?
Oh, let me alone, will you?
Another thing. Cherry says you and Hope are in grave danger.
Oh, she's always talking.
But why did she link you and Hope together? Did it have anything to do with her escapade with the chauffeur?
I don't know, I tell you. I don't know what Cherry's talking about 9/10 of the time.
You don't think you're in danger?
Sure, I'm in danger. Everybody's in danger. You might get hit by a car or anything might happen.
No, I mean specific danger.
Oh, nuts.
You say that, yet you know that someone tried to chloroform Hope this afternoon.
Maybe she tried to commit suicide. How do I know?
No, it's possible. Except that there have been attacks on Cherry, too.
Yeah. Somebody scratched her with a pin.
Cut, not a scratch. And it was done with something very sharp. Do you use a safety razor?
Yeah, but if you think I'm going around cutting up Cherry with a safety razor blade, you're crazy.
I didn't say that. More than that, Cherry was thrown downstairs. And at the same time Hope was chloroformed, she was unconscious and slashed up in her room.
Well, nobody's dead, is he? Except the chauffeur, and he doesn't count.
Why not? I asked why the chauffeur doesn't count.
He's not in the family.
He was attached to the family.
Okay, he was attached to the family, so what?
You know, Job, I'm getting the impression that you're getting a great deal of satisfaction out of that murder.
How about another nip?
No. You don't like Faye, do you?
As a brother likes any sister.
That's not answering my question. You don't like her, do you?
If she was dead, I'd send flowers to the funeral.
Oh, look here now.
That's an ugly thing to say.
Well, you asked me, didn't you?
This is the first time we've seen you sober since we arrived. I've got a hunch I'd like to see you and Cherry together when you're in this condition.
What's that for?
Well, you object?
Look, don't I feel bad enough now without you bringing that terrified mouse down to whisper about the horrible death that's in store for me?
Uh-huh. Yes, I think I'd like to see you and Cherry together. Doc.
You want me to go get her?
No, I want you and Reggie to stay here with Job. And keep that bottle away from him till I get back.
You hear that, Job, old kid?
I won't be gone but a minute.
Say, old chap, you know, you'd be a handsome man if you didn't have such an unhealthy pallor.
No.
How long have you been hitting it up like this?
Year, 2 years, I forget.
You like the stuff? In such large quantities, I mean?
Oh, now lay off, will you?
Sorry.
You don't understand folks like him, Reggie.
No?
Mm-mm. Folks like him is tickled to death with themselves. That's why they pour it in, because they like themselves so much they can't stand it.
Oh, you're pretty smart, aren't you?
They call him the good-natured drunk. But where does his nice disposition go to when he's sober?
Look, you two, just leave me alone, will you?
Oh, sure, sure. We don't really like to torture dumb animals.
Thanks for nothing. What's Packard want to bring Cherry down here for?
He has his own reasons.
Maybe he wants your little sister to see you when you ain't plastered. Because Cherry told us she loved you a lot.
Yeah, I'll bet she did.
Yes, she did. We both heard her.
First time I knew Cherry had a sense of humor.
She didn't say it like she thought it was funny.
All right, stop it, will you? He's going to bring her down here. Why doesn't he do it?
Go away. Go away.
It's just me, Cherry.
Oh, Hello.
Who did you think it was?
They were outside just a minute ago.
What's that?
Yes, they were. They tried the handle. I saw it moving. And then when they found out it was locked, I heard them whispering.
Did you hear what they said?
No, just whispering.
Men's voices or women's
I
voices?
don't know. Just whispering.
You might have been mistaken.
No, it was them. They came to get me.
Well, I'm here now, so don't worry. I want you to come downstairs to the library with me.
Come in my room first.
Yes, if you wish. Why did you close the door?
Look at me.
I am.
I'm pretty, aren't I?
Very pretty, Cherry. Your face would be beautiful if it wasn't so sad.
I'm young. I'm nice. I am, aren't I?
I'm sure you are.
Then why don't you take me in your arms?
Cherry, what is this?
Why don't you? Why doesn't anybody? I'm a woman. Yes, I am. If you don't think I am, just give me the chance.
Cherry, stop that.
Oh.
Here. You're just all upset.
No. Nobody wants me except them. Nobody. They want me. They want me so bad they'll tear down this house to get me. And they will do. If somebody doesn't take me first. I can't do it alone.
No, not while we're here.
Oh, Mr. Packard. Mr. Packard, I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid.
Sit down here, Cherry.
Yes?
Hey, Jack, what'd you send Reggie out for?
Special job that needed to be done at once.
Oh. Well, hello, Cherry. Ain't you happy?
No.
Well, neither is your big brother Job here, so that makes two of you.
Yes, I know.
Well, ain't you going to say hello to your little sister, Job?
We don't need small talk. My sisters and I understand each other.
That's just the trouble. We don't.
We don't what?
Understand each other. We all want to love you so much, Job. And you won't let us.
You crazy little fool.
Job, don't talk to me like that.
Don't you know these men brought you down here just to hear you talk?
But I haven't got anything to say they shouldn't hear.
Oh, you haven't,
No. Did you think I did?
Look, I don't know anything about it. I wish somebody'd give me a drink.
Has he had anything while I was up getting Cherry?
Nope, not a drop.
All right, pour him another jigger.
Jigger. It's not even a drop of water on a hot stove.
Job, I wish you wouldn't drink.
Yeah.
Yes. Why do you?
The same reason Fay indulges herself in vulgar language. The same reason Hope's devoting her life to chauffeurs. The same reason you...
What, Job? What am I?
The same reason you're the way you are.
But what am I? What is it I am? I want to know. I've got to know.
Can't you see she's driving me nuts? Why don't you pull her off?
I wish you'd answer a question, Job. What did you mean she's the way she is?
No, thank you. And have them on my neck?
Them?
That's right. Cherry's mysterious they. The little people.
Hey, you believe they are around, too?
Very much around. They're going to destroy this house before they're through.
Not while we're here to prevent it.
Yes, they will. Because they will have completed the job here before you realize who they are. The Martins will come to ugly and early deaths one by one. It'll seem so strange, so unnatural, utterly unsolvable, and all the time they will be right under your nose. They, these murdering little people who've been closing in on Cherry and the rest of this household. Now, will you please give me another shot of that brandy?
Jack, look at Cherry. White as a sheet.
Cherry, do you hear me?
Oh, yes. I was thinking.
About what?
I didn't know anyone realized how dangerous they were except me.
There's not a bit of blood in your face. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right. But now I know why Job is drinking so much.
Why is Job drinking? Well, why?
Because he's as frightened as I am.
That true, Job?
No.
Mr. Packard.
Yes?
Where are Fay and Hope and Grandma?
Fay and Hope are locked in their bedrooms. Your grandmother's in her suite on the third floor.
Could they come down here?
I suppose they could if there's any good reason for it.
Yes, there is.
I'll have to know what it is first.
Job has something to tell all of us.
Job?
Hey, what are you talking about?
I promise you he will tell something. But everybody's got to be here.
You might as well save yourself the trouble. I haven't got anything to say to anybody.
If he doesn't tell you, I will. I promise.
She's crazy.
I don't know. But I think we'll try it. Doc.
Yeah?
Go up and ask Grandma Martin to come down here. And then get Fay and have her help you bring Hope down.
Wake Hope up and she's still asleep?
Yes, she may still be a little weak.
Okay.
Oh, just a minute. See that she's warmly dressed. A person coming out of a heavy dose of chloroform's in danger of pneumonia.
Yeah, I'll take care of her.
Look here, Packard, I don't like this.
You don't like what?
It just happens I don't want to see my grandmother right now.
Why not?
That's my affair.
Sorry, you'll have to stay.
I haven't got anything to say, and neither is Cherry.
But I have, Job.
I'm not going to stay, and that's all there is to it.
Job, sit down.
You heard what I said.
I said sit down. I punched you once tonight, and I can do it again if I have to. When are you going to sit down?
You're being almighty high-handed in this house.
Your grandmother gave me full authority. Now sit down and relax.
Strong-arm method.
Yeah, that's better. Sometimes a strong arm is the only thing people understand.
At least give me another drink.
No. You've had enough for now.
I've never had enough. I never will have enough.
Enough of what? Well, speak up. Enough of what?
Job thinks he needs a drink, Mrs. Martin.
Nonsense. Everyone tries to make Job appear worse than he is. Job, dear, would you like a cup of coffee?
No, I wouldn't like a cup of coffee.
Oh, don't be naughty now, Job.
Oh, nuts.
Hello, Grandma.
What's wrong with you now?
Nothing. Nothing, Grandma.
And I'd like to know who moved the chairs in this library.
Chairs?
Certainly. They're not where they belong at all.
Well, I'm afraid I'm responsible for that.
Indeed. Well, they go right back where they belong. Get up, Cherry.
Yes, Grandma.
May I help you?
Do you know where they go?
Oh, I'm afraid not.
Well, then stand out of the way.
Just as you like.
Well, hello. Did someone touch one of Grandma's precious chairs?
Oh, hello, Fay.
Hi, Miles. Hello, Job. How's drinking these days?
Ha ha, great joke.
Come on, Grandma, relax.
Mind your manners, Faith Martin.
Oh, those chairs of hers have been sitting in exactly the same spot in the library for 40 years. She knows where they belong to the fraction of an inch.
I certainly do. There. Now, the room looks like something.
Where's Doc and Hope?
They're coming. Hope's feeling pretty good, so I came on down. What's happening now?
Cherry and Job have an interesting surprise for us.
Oh, Job's not going to confess he's responsible for the baby, is he?
Don't be vulgar, Fay. Take your own chair, Cherry.
Yes, Grandma.
Job, come here to your chair beside me.
Look, Grandma, will you lay off me tonight?
Job.
All right, Grandma, anything you want.
Say, what is this? What do you mean, Job's own chair?
Some more of Grandma's discipline. When we were kids, we each had our own chair, and every evening we had to sit in that particular chair and listen to Grandma read to us.
Kept you from running the streets.
You mean all these years you've always sat in the same chair in its same position?
It was the law.
You must have ruled with an iron hand, Mrs. Martin.
I did, and I'm proud of it.
Yes, but you're not quite so proud of what you made out of this, are you?
I'll thank you not to blame inherent wickedness onto me. Any bad in you children came from your mother's side of the family.
You leave our mother out of this, Grandma.
You can take it our mother wasn't a Martin.
And that she probably died to get out from under the thumb of Grandma.
Job, you've never said an unkinder word in your life.
That pays you back for your jab at our mother.
You're an ungrateful boy, Job.
Okay, I'm ungrateful.
Yeah, everybody's in the
Oh,
library.
here they come.
They're kind of weak. You better sit down here.
Hope, take your own chair.
Hey, what you mean? Hope's in no condition to
She can walk over here to her own chair.
Well, I swear to Grandma.
That's all right. I'm wobbly, but I'm game. Come on.
Well, I don't mind telling you, Grandma. The more I see you, the more I don't like you.
Keep a civil tongue in your head.
There you are. Okay?
Yes, I'm perfectly all right.
Well, I think this is your first appearance among the living, if you call this living, since your attack of chloroform.
Yes, and it's nice being alive if you're interested.
I want to ask you a question about that later.
About being alive?
No, about who did it.
Well, I can save the interview right now by saying I was asleep when it happened.
You didn't wake up while it was being given?
If I did, I went right out again.
And you've no idea who did it?
No.
Not even whether it was a man or a woman?
No.
Come now, what's all this about? I think you asked for our presence down here, didn't you, Mr. Packard?
That's right. This is to be Cherry's show. Cherry and Job's.
What's the matter? Have they been after her again?
This has nothing to do with they.
Yes, it does. It has everything to do with them.
I understood either Job here was going to make a confession or that you were going to make the confession for him.
What sort of nonsense is this?
It's true, Grandma. It's true.
Job, what are you going to confess?
Nothing. Cherry's got bats in her belfry, and they've got her going in circles.
Mr. Packard, you mean you brought us all down here simply on the word of this neurotic girl?
I'm not neurotic. You don't say that about me.
Mrs. Martin, if you'll please just let me go ahead with this in my own way.
But the child's utterly irresponsible.
Please.
Oh.
Now then, Job.
Don't look at me. I haven't anything to say.
Cherry?
Joe, why don't you tell them? Why don't you make a clean breast of the whole thing?
What are you talking about?
The murder of the chauffeur.
Cherry Martin, are you accusing your brother Job?
Be still, Mrs. Martin.
I never heard
Mrs.
anything.
Martin.
Well, I never did.
Is that what you're doing, Cherry? Accusing Job of the chauffeur's murder?
Yes.
Why, you little
It
double-cross...
doesn't matter, Job. It doesn't matter. You'll never be punished for it.
You're crazy. I suppose I'm the one who tried to chloroform Hope here, huh? Suppose I've been pushing you downstairs and slashing you.
Just a minute, Job. Cherry, what do you mean he'll never be punished for it?
Because they'll get him before the law does.
Cherry, what do you mean?
It's true, Hope. It's true.
Are you trying to give us all the creeps?
Why are you all looking at me like that? Stop looking at me like that. Do you hear?
So the good-natured drunk killed the chauffeur, and they are going to get him before the law does, eh?
Can I help it if that's the way it is? Can I? Can I?
Doc.
Yeah?
Keep an eye on Job.
You bet you. If you ask me, Jack. Hey, who turned out the light?
Somebody turn it on again.
Quiet. Listen.
The baby. The baby.
Doc, get the light on.
I gotta feel my way around. Darned if it don't sound like it's right here in this room.
Hurry up. Turn on that light.
Got it.
All right. Everyone stay right where he is. You all right? All of you?
I don't want to be vulgar, but I feel like something laid a hard-boiled egg in the pit of my stomach.
The baby cried. It's a warning. It's a warning to Job.
Nonsense. I won't have it.
What I want to know is how those lights were turned off. No one was within 6 feet of that switch.
But the baby, the warning.
Doc, you stand there right beside that switch from now on.
Okay, feller. I'd like to see it.
Job. Job.
He's been shot through the head.
The gun with the silencer.
Yes.
Oh, Joe, darling. Oh, Joe, Joe.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? They want all of us dead.
But the police have just got to be right, Jack. The shot that killed Job come from out on the porch.
I know that.
And Fay, Hope, and Cherry, and Grandma Martin was sitting right in this room with us.
That's right.
So they couldn't have done it if they'd wanted to.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
It not only looks that way, it is that way. What you keep nosing around this library for? What you expect to find?
The answer.
Answer? Answer to what?
Someone in this room killed Job.
You're crazy.
That's so?
I'll be a bow-legged hipponoceros if you ain't. What? Ain't we just admitted Job was shot from out on the porch?
Doc, you're sure Reggie's up patrolling the second floor hallway?
Of course he is. That's what you just told him to do, ain't it?
Yes.
Well, then that's where he is. Looky, it's 3 a.m. How about us calling the whole thing off and going to bed?
Can't.
Well, if the police are satisfied he is shot from outside, why shouldn't we be?
Because I know more than the police do.
Okay, you know more than... Huh? You know more about what?
What's going on in this house?
For instance...
We know that a baby cries in this house and that there's no baby.
Yeah?
We know that Cherry predicted Job's death not 10 minutes before he was killed.
You mean her saying they would get him before the law did?
Yes. How did she know?
Well, how about her being in cahoots with the killer on the outside?
Maybe. We also know that just before Job was killed, the lights went out in the library.
And the baby cried.
Yes, but what made the lights go out?
Well, somebody snapped the switch.
But who? No one in the room was nearer than 6 feet to the switch.
It's right beside the door. Somebody must have sneaked the door open, reached in, and snapped them off.
Who?
Well, the guy that shot Job from the porch.
Maybe. I don't think so.
Well, why don't you?
Here, bring your flashlight over here and run it along the floor.
What for?
Would you mind, Doc?
Oh, no, of course not.
Thanks. Okay.
You know, fella, don't mind me saying so, but I think you're trying to make something out of nothing.
You can go to bed if you want to.
Oh, you know doggone well I won't go to bed till you do.
Suit yourself.
Why do you think somebody in this house done the murder? At least you can tell me that much.
It was too well set up. It was all planned.
What was?
The murder. Cherry insisted on bringing the whole family down here. Cherry accused Job of killing the chauffeur and predicting his death. Cherry was frightened from the moment we brought her into this room with Job.
Cherry's always scared.
And just the same, she was breathless, expectant, waiting for something to happen.
Then you really think she done it?
On the other hand, Grandmother Martin acted very peculiar. She insisted on arranging the chairs in a certain position in the room. She insisted on each one of the family taking a certain chair. She selected the chair right in front of the window for Job.
But didn't Fay explain that she'd been doing that since they were little kids?
Yet when I interviewed the family on the first night we got here, she didn't insist. Everyone sat where he wanted to.
That's funny.
Yes, I think so, too.
The only thing about Grandma doing it, though, everybody said Job was her favorite. You don't just up and murder your favorite grandchild. You don't even help somebody else do it.
Still, she did make him sit in the chair in front of the window.
Yeah, she done that all right. But looky, Jack, just before the murder, you was so sure that Fay was the one.
I'm still not overlooking her. She's the most intelligent, the most capable of planning a foolproof murder.
And she was the one nearest. Hey, wait a minute. I just thought of something. Did you hear any gun go off?
What's that?
When Job was shot, did you hear any gun go off?
No.
Well, neither did I. Just the smashing of the window.
Which means the gun with the silencer was used.
Yeah. I guess that'd have to be it, wouldn't it? Well, what's that for?
Huh?
Well, what's doing that for?
Marking on the floor where each chair is placed. Just in case they're moved. There. Yeah, now then, we're ready to go upstairs.
To bed?
No, not to bed.
Oh, all right. I was just asking. Will you tell me one thing, though?
What?
Why, if you think Cherry or Grandma or Fay is a killer, didn't you lock them up tonight?
I set Reggie to patrolling in front of their rooms, didn't I?
Yeah, but this afternoon you had them all locked in and had me and Reggie watching besides. Now you have their doors unlocked and you only have Reggie on the job.
I've been waiting for something to happen.
Huh? You been doing what?
Waiting for something to happen.
You mean that's what we've been doing in yonder in the library, waiting for something?
Yes.
Well, I thought you said you was hunting for something.
Well, I had to put in the time some way.
But what? Waiting for what?
For the murderer to make the next move.
For the... You mean you're turning the murderer loose to prowl in the house?
That's about it.
Well, just to see what he'd do next?
Yes.
Then why'd you bother to put Reggie up on the second floor?
So we could get to all the rooms fast in case the baby cried.
And no baby ain't cried.
No.
So you're giving up expecting something to happen?
Maybe. I'll take it easy on the stairs.
Yeah. Hey, that kind of makes my hair stand up, fella. Right this minute, a killer may be a sneaking and a crouching around in dark places. Hey, hold it.
What's the matter?
There's somebody standing there at the head of the stairs.
What? Oh, what's the matter with you, Doc? That's Reggie.
Well, what's he in the shadow for?
Is that you, Jack?
Yes, Reggie. Everything quiet up here?
Too very quiet, if you ask me.
Haven't heard anything, huh?
There's been movement in Faye's room. I don't think that young woman's getting much sleep tonight.
A bad conscience, maybe, huh?
That's all you've heard?
Funny thing, once I thought I heard a rustling of a dress.
When was that?
15, 20 minutes ago.
What did it sound like?
Just movement. Like a drape blowing at an open window. Must have been hearing things known in the hall. If any of the doors had been open and closed, I'd have heard them.
You couldn't have seen around the corner of the hall?
No, but it's been so quiet, I would have heard the turn of a doorknob.
Maybe. Maybe not. Let's have a look.
But I tell you, Jack,
There's no time for guesswork. We'll make sure.
This is Faye's room.
Yeah, give me a flashlight.
Uh-huh.
Wait here.
I thought you said Faye was awake.
She was. Half an hour ago.
She all right, Jack?
Yes, her bed looks like it had been stirred up with a spoon, but she's asleep now.
Pope's right around the corner of the hall.
All right.
I don't see how anyone can sleep tonight. Her brother murdered.
Exhaustion.
I suppose so. This is it.
Wait here.
Funny, they didn't lock their doors from inside.
Yeah, but I was on duty up here.
Just the same with somebody prowling. Oh, Hope okay?
Yes. Doesn't look like she'd moved since she got into that bed. Doc, you keep watch down here while Reggie and I go up on the third floor and have a look at Grandma and Cherry.
Sure, go ahead.
Come on, Reggie.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, hello, Faye.
Did somebody just come into my room?
Yeah, Jack, just checking up.
Well, he's got his nerve.
For your own good.
I'll bet I was something to look at. Didn't he ever hear the old saw, let sleeping girls lie?
I guess not.
Where is he now?
Oh, up on the third floor, checking on Grandma and Cherry.
Grandma's gonna love that.
Business is business.
Grandma keeps a poker beside her bed. For his own good, it better not wake her up.
Grandma's asleep?
Yes. She snores. Now then, across the hall is Cherry. Listen.
The baby.
Quick, look in Cherry's room.
Righto.
Turn on the light.
I'm trying to. Here it is. Say, she's not here. Cherry's not here.
Downstairs, quick. Get down, wait.
What's that?
Here by the door, look. Handkerchief, blood on it.
Oh, I say.
Come on, don't stand there.
Jack, wait a minute. Look here.
We haven't got time for anything.
Right here by the head of the stairs. A shoe.
What's that? Here, let me see it.
A girl's shoe.
Cherry's. Come on, keep your eyes open.
No.
Here. Here's something else.
I say, a ribbon.
Out of her hair.
Jack, the baby. Did you hear the baby?
Yeah, we heard it.
And Cherry's not in the room.
Cherry, you mean the baby's got her?
Don't be a fool. Doc, you stay here and guard these doors. Reggie and I've got a job on our hands.
Well, where are you going?
Search the house. She seems to have been dropping things all along the way.
I say, what's this?
Stocking. Looks like a striptease here. I'm downstairs to the first floor. There's something at the foot of the stairs.
Another shoe.
What's that in the hallway? Get it.
I say, I don't see it.
Toward the back of the house.
The baby again.
Hurry.
She must have gone this way.
All right. What'd you pick up that time?
I don't know, but it's feminine, lacy, and perfumed.
Well, hang on to it. Now, this goes into the kitchen. Come on. Now, look around.
I say, here it is. Bit of lace. Looks like it was off a dress.
Right in front of this door.
Sure. Dark.
Must be the cellar. Find a light?
Fine. Here it is.
Come on. Here, this way.
Like I say, the furnace. It's going full blast.
I can see it.
But the furnace, full blast, at 3 in the morning?
Look. Look there, Reggie.
It's Cherry. Cherry lying in front of the furnace.
Here, let me see.
Bound hand and foot.
And gagged. She's unconscious.
But, Jack, the furnace. Do you think they were going to do it? Do you?
So at last you've seen one of them, these people you call they.
Yes, but not his face.
No, don't try to sit up.
I'm thirsty.
Get her a glass of water, Doc.
Water coming right up.
Just lie still and keep covered up.
Where am I?
Don't you recognize your own bedroom?
Oh, yes.
You're sure you do?
Yes. It's my bedroom. I always hated it.
Why?
Because when I was little, Grandma punished me by locking me in here. I was afraid.
Why?
There were pictures on the wall. Pictures of Humpty Dumpty and Simple Simon and Peter Piper and a lot more.
You mean the wall was papered with Mother Goose characters?
Yes. And they wouldn't stop looking at me. Even when I shut my eyes, they were still there, looking at me, laughing.
That was when you were a very little girl?
Yes.
Here you are, Jack. Couldn't find a glass.
All right. No, let me raise you up.
All right.
There. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Better?
Yes.
Now then, you say you didn't see him. That is, his face.
No. They're very clever.
Was his face covered?
No. It just wasn't there.
Wasn't there?
He had a kind of hood over his head. It was all kind of blank and dark inside the hood.
Doggone.
Describe what you did see.
Oh, do I have to?
Please.
Well, the hood, and then kind of a short smock, big and full. I think it was made of satin.
What color was it?
Red. Red, like when you stick your finger and the blood comes out.
Hey, Cherry, you telling the truth?
Yes, I am.
And what about his trousers?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember whether he had legs or not.
You don't remember whether he had legs or not?
No.
And yet he picked you up and carried you down to the furnace room, so he must have had legs.
Yeah, I guess he must.
How did he get here in your bedroom in the first place?
He just opened the door and walked in.
Well, why didn't you scream?
I was too scared. And then he put a gag in my mouth.
Didn't you fight him?
Oh, I couldn't move.
You just laid there and let him gag you and hog tie you?
Yes, I couldn't move.
And all the time, Reggie was out there patrolling the hall. Well, how come he didn't see you when old No-Face picked you up and carried you out?
I don't know. He kept my face pressed against his chest hard, so I couldn't see a thing. I thought I was going to smother.
And then he carried you down to the furnace room?
Yes.
And then he turned on the furnace full blast?
Yes.
Why? What do you think he intended to do?
I know what he was going to do.
Well, then why didn't he do it?
Because just then the baby began to cry.
Yes, the baby.
Yes, the baby cried, and that's the last I saw of him.
You didn't see which way he went?
No, he was there, and then he was gone.
And the next you knew, we were beside you.
Yes.
Well, son, it looks like we got to set our traps for a feller in a red smock and no face.
Yes. Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Where's Grandma and the girls?
Down the library. Reggie's staying with them.
Why?
Reasons of my own.
You haven't done a very good job here, have you?
Well, what do you mean?
Since you came, the chauffeur was killed. And now Job is dead.
That's right.
And then this happened to me.
You'd rather have someone else?
No. You couldn't help it. Nobody could.
You think this reign of terror is going to continue?
It's got to. It can't stop now. It's got to go on and on and on until there isn't any of us left. Nobody but Grandma.
You mean you think you and Hope and Faye's going to be killed?
Yes, I know it.
You say you know. Do you actually, or is it just your belief?
It's the same thing. I haven't been wrong about anything I said was going to happen.
That's right, Jack. She kept saying over and over that Job was in a bad spot.
And Hope. She's in the worst danger right now.
Oh, what about Faye?
I don't care about Faye. She doesn't like me. And I don't like her.
But she's going to die, too.
Yes, but I don't care about that. Job was the one who bothered me most.
And next to Job, you like Hope the most.
Yes.
Cherry, do you know a girl named Pauline West?
Pauline West?
Yes. Do you?
Why do you ask that?
Just answer. Do you or don't you?
I guess I've heard the name somewhere. Sounds familiar.
She's a radio actress. Now, do you recognize her?
No, I don't think so.
What the heck's a radio actress named Pauline West got to do with this, Jack?
I don't know, but I found several casting sheets down in the furnace room made out in her name.
He found what?
Casting sheets.
What's a casting sheet?
It's a form sent out to actors and artists who've been cast on a show. Tells the time of rehearsal, the date and hour of the show, and the amount of money the performance pays.
Okay, so you found a casting sheet for Pauline West, and I still want to know what that's got to do with all the rough stuff that's going on here.
Probably nothing. Simply a new name in the picture. And if there's a Pauline West connected with this house, I want to know it.
Well, wouldn't Cherry know it if there was?
Seems likely. But I'd still like to know what that casting sheet was doing in the furnace room.
Must not be a very good actress. I never heard of her before.
Oh, you listen to radio shows?
Of course I do. Well, anyway, all of them that's got girls on them. What you think I just bought a battery set to carry around with me for?
In love with all the women on the air. Huh?
And boy, is there a couple of them that I'd like to write dialogue for.
Would, huh?
You're darn right. The words I'd put in those babies' mouths would make the radio censors turn over in their graves.
What do you know about radio censors?
Nothing.
Then what are you talking about?
Okay. Hey, Jack, look.
Cherry, you little fool, come back here. What's the matter with you? Where do you think you're going?
No place.
Well, come back here and get into bed. Pull the covers back, Doc.
Yeah. There.
Now get into that bed.
All right. I wasn't going anywhere.
And what do you mean, trying to sneak out on us?
No, I wasn't. I just don't like this room.
Well, would you like us to move you downstairs?
Jack, where are you?
Hey, that's Reggie.
Up in Cherry's room, Reggie.
Something's happened. I knew it.
Jack, Hope's got away.
Hope's got away?
Why, she snapped off the light in the library downstairs and was out the door and gone before I could get it back on.
Probably on her way down to an employment agency to get herself a new chauffeur.
Now, never mind that, Doc. Where are Faye and her grandmother?
I locked them in the powder room just off the hall while I came up to tell you.
Are they all right there?
Well, they can't get out.
Good. Doc.
Yeah?
You stay here with Cherry. I'm going with Reggie.
Okay.
Don't let her out of your sight for a minute.
You hear that, Cherry, honey?
Come on, Reggie. Do you think Hope left the house?
No, I think she went towards the furnace.
Furnace room? Did he say furnace room?
That's what he said. That Hope was heading for the furnace room.
But she mustn't. She mustn't.
Why not?
Because that's where things happen to people.
Things happen to folks in the furnace room?
Yes, go tell them. Go tell them quick.
Hey, you mean that?
Yes. Don't you understand? Go tell them to keep Hope away from there.
Well, I don't know. Jack said to stay here with you.
Hurry.
You promise to stay right there in bed?
Yes.
Okay. I'll be right back. I'll leave the door open.
No. Hurry. Poor little Hope. Poor little sister Hope. Hurry.
Okay, Cherry, get back into bed.
No.
Now, come on. Get back into bed where you belong.
But you didn't go.
No, but just waited outside the door to see why you were so anxious for me to leave.
But I was just going to help find Hope.
Well, Jack and Reggie's pretty good at that sort of thing.
Yes, but I know. I think I know where she is.
Well, if she's in this house, they'll find her.
But she's in such danger. They've got to hurry.
Now, looky, Cherry. How could you know that?
But I do.
Hey, shut up.
What's the matter?
There's somebody out in the hall.
Oh, no.
Listen.
It's them. They've come back.
Maybe.
But it is. I know it.
I hope so. I ain't never seen a fella with no face and a red smile.
Could I get under the bed, please?
You stay right where you are. Listen.
They're right beside the door. I can feel them.
Somebody out there, okay?
Have you got a gun?
No.
Please, let me get under the bed.
No.
Where are you going?
I'm going to sneak over the door. Maybe I can jump.
Oh, no. That's what they're waiting for.
Lay still and keep quiet. That's funny.
What's the matter?
Wasn't nobody out there at all.
Yes, there was. I know there was.
Not when I got there.
I know what's the matter. You're giving me the jumps. You got me seeing things that ain't there, too.
I tell you, there was some... Hope. That's right. Hello, Texas.
Well, hey, Hope, everybody in this house is looking for you.
Now, that's silly.
What'd you dodge out of the library for?
I had to see Cherry. My little sister Cherry.
Oh, I'm so glad you came. I was so scared for you.
Sisterly devotion, huh?
Yes. I love you so.
She loves me so. Now, isn't that sweet?
Oh, Hope, don't say that. You and Job, you two are all in the world I've got to love.
And now you haven't got Job.
But I've still got you.
No, you haven't.
Oh, Hope, please.
No, you haven't got me. Not any of me.
Then why are you coming over here to the bed? Go away if you don't love me.
I want to show you something.
What do you mean?
Look what I found.
The gun.
That's right, the gun that killed Joe.
Hey, what'd you say?
Give it to me.
Cherry, stop. Let go of it.
Hey, don't do that.
Give it to me.
You bet I won't give it to you.
You shot her. You shot Hope.
Poor little sister Hope. My poor little sister.
But, Jack, not only is there a policeman outside Hope's door, but there's a doctor and a nurse inside with her. Well, what's the need of Reggie, a gardener, too?
Right. Hope's got a fighting chance to stay alive. The doctor says with an even break, she'll pull through. I'm going to see she gets that break.
I don't get you, Mr. Packard. Yes, please explain yourself. You mean you're protecting her from something?
You bet I'm protecting her from something, Mrs. Randolph Martin.
But that's absurd. Hope was accidentally shot when she and Cherry were wrestling for the gun.
Maybe.
No, maybe about it. You have the word of your own companion, Mr. Long here, who saw it.
Yeah, there ain't no getting away from that, Jack. I saw it all right.
I wish I'd seen it.
Why?
Look, Doc, I want you to tell your story again, in front of Grandma Martin and Fay here. Go over it again, every detail.
Well, when Reggie come running upstairs and said Hope had escaped from the library and was loose in the house, you told me to stay right with Cherry, not leave her for a minute.
Yes?
Then you and Reggie run downstairs. Well, the minute you was out of sight, Cherry started in saying, "Don't let Hope go to the furnace room. Don't let Hope go to the furnace room." Kept saying it over and over. And then she says, hurry, go tell him. You must warn him.
What did you do?
Well, she sounded so scared, I thought maybe that I ought to tell you, and I started out the door. And just as I got out in the hall, I remembered you saying, "Don't leave Cherry under any circumstances." So I whirled around and tiptoed back to the door, and there was Cherry out of bed and putting on some slippers and her bathrobe. Well, I grabbed her and stuck her back in bed.
Where was the terrified mouse going?
Well, she said she was going to find Hope, that she thought that she knew where she was.
Then what happened?
Well, then the bedroom door was open, and I thought I heard somebody out in the hall. Cherry said it was them, that they had come back. Well, I sneaked over to the door and looked out, and nobody was there.
Some more of Cherry's romantic nonsense.
Yeah, well, I hardly got back in the room when Hope comes in.
Now, this is the part I'm especially interested in. Be very sure about every detail. Where were you standing?
At the foot of Cherry's bed.
What was Cherry doing?
Well, the minute she saw Hope come in the door, she sat up in bed.
And Hope, where was she?
Well, she come in the door and walked about halfway between the door and the bed at first.
All right. Now go on.
Well, yeah. Well, Hope just walked in and said, "Hello, Cherry." Well, I was looking at Hope, but Cherry made kind of a funny little gurgling noise in her throat, and I looked at her, and she was kind of green around the gills and trembling.
Cherry afraid of Hope? What are you talking about?
Well, that's the way it was, Fay. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Horse feathers.
Well, I'm only telling you what I saw.
Go on. What then?
Well, I said, "Hey, Hope, everybody's looking for you. Why'd you dodge out of the library?" She said, "On account I got to see Cherry, my little sister Cherry."
Just how did she say it?
I can tell you how she said it. She was making fun of Cherry.
Was that it, Doc?
Well, yeah, kind of all right. Cherry was a-shivering all the time, but she said, "Oh, I'm so glad you came. I was so scared for you." Then she said, "I love you so, Job and you."
The mouse always was sloppy with her emotions.
Yeah, it kind of made the hair stand up on my neck. Her saying sweet things in a kind of pleading voice and all the time trembling so she could hardly talk.
What was Hope's reaction?
Well, she said, and now you ain't got Job." And Cherry said, "But I still got you." And Hope said, "No, you haven't. Not any of me." And then she started toward the bed. Well, Cherry kind of cringed down and said, "Go away if you don't love me." But Hope kept it coming until she got right up to the bed.
What were you doing all this time?
Well, just standing there at the foot of the bed.
That's great.
But, Jack...
Forget it. Go on.
Well, when she got right up to the bed, she pulled out Job's gun with a silencer on it. And the next thing I knew that they was fighting over like a couple of cats. And before I could get around the bed, it went off. And Hope sort of stood up on her tiptoes and then just crumbled up, all in a heap.
You said before that Hope said it was the gun that killed Job?
Yeah, that's right, she did.
You're sure she didn't say where she got the gun?
No, just that she found it.
Mr. Long,
Yeah, Grandma?
was it your impression that Hope intended to shoot Cherry with that gun?
Well, she was sure enough going to do something with it.
But she didn't say anything about shooting Cherry.
Well, no, not exactly. Just look what I've got.
Then maybe she actually just intended to show the gun to Cherry. Cherry got excited and thought she was going to shoot and made a grab for the gun.
Well, maybe.
Doc, you believe Hope came up here with the planned purpose of killing Cherry?
Well, doggone it, Jack. She was all steamed up for something. You could see hate all over her face. You'd have thought Cherry was a worm the way she stepped on her. And when that gun come out of her dress, there was no fooling about it.
I don't believe it.
Well, let's see now. If Hope did intend to kill Cherry, could she also be responsible for the other deaths?
Well, she was the last one to see the chauffeur alive. That we know about.
And she was sitting in the library right next to Job when he was shot.
Nonsense.
Not such nonsense as you might think, Grandma.
I say nonsense.
Well, if that's the way you feel.
It's exactly the way I feel. None of my granddaughters is a murderer, nor are they connected with murderers. The chauffeur and Job were killed by men outside this house. Hope was accidentally shot. That's all there is to it. To try to read anything more into it is unjust and unfair to the name of Martin.
Grandmother Martin, you know better than that.
I know nothing of the kind. The police will eventually find the killers of Job and the chauffeur. The doctor gives Hope a good chance for recovery. That's the end of it.
You believe that, Fay?
Why not? What Grandma says goes.
You're not interested in where Hope found the gun with the silencer? You're not interested in who bound and gagged Cherry and carried it out to the furnace room? You don't want to know what makes the baby cry when it's... Here.
Huh? What's the matter, Jack?
Doc, did the baby cry before Hope was shot?
Hey.
It didn't?
No, not a peep out of him. You don't suppose he's losing his grip, do you?
Well, there you are. That proves the shooting of Hope was an accident.
It does?
Certainly. You said yourself the baby always cried as a warning when one of the family was in danger.
Yes, and certainly Hope was in danger, whether accidentally or by plan. Why didn't the baby cry?
Because it happened too fast.
But if our psychic baby can anticipate a planned attack, why couldn't it anticipate an accident just as easily?
Well, I guess I don't know.
I'll tell you why. It didn't dare cry.
But why not?
Never mind why not. But that's the answer. It didn't dare cry.
Well, ain't you going to say any more than that?
No, if you don't get the answer from that, I'm not going to tell you.
Mr. Packard, you mean you know more than you're telling us?
I know a great deal more. I know who the murderer is. I know where I can put my finger on the baby when I want it. I know who killed Job and how it was done. I know who they are. Those they people Cherry's so frightened of. And she has a right to be frightened. I'd rather be where Job and the chauffeur are right now than to have them after me.
Mr. Packard, you're talking like a madman.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, fella, what's eating on you?
So you know who the murderer is?
That's right, Fay.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Very interesting.
Fay, I asked Cherry this question. I'm asking you. Do you know a radio actress by the name of Pauline West?
What's that?
Oh, you do?
Pauline West. What has she got to do with this?
If you know Pauline West, then you certainly know
Yes, of course. Why didn't I think of it before?
What's this nonsense about Pauline West?
that. You never heard of her? An actress on the radio?
What would I know about a radio actress?
Well, Fay, apparently you're the one person in the house who knows her.
Well, what of it?
I called the broadcasting company where she had done most of the work, asked them where she lived. They gave me this address.
That's preposterous.
I don't think so. Down in the furnace room earlier tonight, I found casting sheets.
You found what?
A printed form from the broadcasting studio giving the day and hour of her broadcast and how much money she was to get.
How much?
Well, it wouldn't buy any fur coats.
Then we may assume she's not a star.
No, run-of-the-mill actress.
Well, young man, there's no actress in this house, run-of-the-mill or any other kind.
Fay,
Yes?
remember the night the chauffeur was killed? You told me you'd been down in the furnace room burning some letters.
Yes?
It wasn't casting sheets you were burning, was it?
Oh, really? Are you asking me to break right down here and confess all my sins?
I'm just asking you if you were down there burning casting sheets and that some of them were dropped unnoticed by him.
No, I wasn't burning Pauline West's casting sheet.
But looky, Jack, this don't make sense. If there's a girl named Pauline West in this house, why ain't we seen her?
You want to answer that, Fay?
No. Do you?
Not just yet.
I didn't think so.
But I will tell you one thing. You're one person who isn't going to get out of our sight for 1 second from now until this case is cleaned up.
Dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Are you saying my granddaughter Fay is dangerous?
Fay understands what I mean.
Sure.
Doc.
Yeah?
Fay's your one and only responsibility from now on. I don't care where she goes, what she does, or what happens. You don't leave her. Not under any circumstances. Get it?
Got it.
Hello, Shadow.
Lady, me and you is the same as handcuffed together. Beginning now.
Well, so you don't forget it.
Mr. Packard, I've changed my mind.
You've changed your mind about what?
I've decided that your services in this house are no longer needed.
You what?
I say I don't want you here any longer.
Well, that's too bad.
It's not too bad. It's the end. Get your things and get out.
Hey, looky,
You
Grandma.
heard me. Get out at once.
You mean now, just as the case is on the point of being solved, you want us to leave?
Yes.
You want this murderer free to roam this house? You want your granddaughters left unprotected to face sure death? Is that what you want?
I want you to get out.
Very well.
Hey, Jack.
Shut up, Doc. Very well, I'll turn over my information to the police and we'll get our things.
Wait.
Well?
There's a check for $10,000 waiting for you at my attorney's office.
Hot dog.
On the understanding that the moment you pick it up, all three of you leave Hollywood and disappear for a year.
After I've turned my information over to the police.
No. You talk to no one.
That's out.
For $10,000.
Absolutely out. You know as well as I do that I have information in this house that the police would never find out. You know that every granddaughter in your house could be killed, and except for what I know, it would remain a baffling mystery to the end of time.
Yes, I know that.
Well, that information is not to be bought. Not at any price.
Then if I was the murderer, do you know what I would do?
It might be interesting to know.
If I was the murderer, Mr. Packard, I would see that you, of all people, never left this house alive.
Hey, Grandma.
Yes, I'm quite certain that is exactly what I would do.
There's one thing, Jack. We're sure of weeding out the innocent members of the family. All that's left in the house is Grandma, Cherry, and Fay here.
Don't forget them. Cherry's precious they people.
Yes, and Pauline West.
Yes, we mustn't forget Pauline West.
Well, if they are in the house, and this Pauline West is here, they've certainly kept in the background. Way in the background.
On the other hand, they're right up in the foreground.
Well, I ain't seen them.
That's because you don't know where to look.
Then perhaps you'll show Doc and me.
Not yet.
Yeah, and what about the baby?
Yes, the baby's very much with us, too.
You've seen him, too, I
Yes.
suppose. I see you have. But, Jack, if you know...
Not yet, Reggie.
But, Jack... Reggie, don't you know Jack well enough by this time to know he ain't going to tell us nothing until he gets darn good and ready?
Right. But would you mind telling us why you suddenly decided to have Hope removed to a hospital? And why you've given Grandma Martin and Cherry free run of the house while you're keeping Fay here practically a prisoner?
Yeah, how about that, Jack?
Hope went to the hospital to get her out of the way.
Out of the way of what?
She couldn't possibly stay alive in this house. She knew too much.
How can you know that? She's unconscious.
She was conscious just long enough for me to ask her one question.
What was that?
Where she found the gun with the silencer that killed Job.
She told you?
Yes.
That's the thing that made somebody want to kill her?
Yes.
Well, then doesn't that put you in the same danger she was in?
Exactly.
Jack, you're in danger of being killed.
Well, with proper precautions.
But looky, tell us where you found the gun, too. Then there'll be so many of us that know.
I don't want that.
You don't want what?
Look, I know who the murderer is. I know how Job's murder was done, but I haven't got a scrap of proof. I could tell my story from now on. Nobody'd believe me.
The baby would be proof.
Yes, I could bring the baby to light, but a crying baby doesn't prove murder.
Well, so what?
So I've got to catch the murderer in the act.
But how does you being in danger?
We know he wants to kill me. We know he's going to try to kill me. When he tries, it's up to me to be the smartest.
You haven't been the smartest so far.
That's true.
Jack, you're setting a trap for the killer and using yourself as bait?
Yes.
I don't like that. I don't like it a bloody bit.
And, Doc.
Yeah?
The outcome's going to depend a great deal on you.
Hey, you mean you're laughing?
I mean, if you let Fay here give you the slip for 1 minute, I can't predict what will happen.
Fay, huh? Fay.
Oh, my goodness, but you look ferocious, Doc.
Look, you Fay, I ain't never hit a woman in my life. But you try one move, and, lady, I'm going to lay you so flat that you could be shoved under the carpet.
No rough stuff, Doc.
Well, I ain't fooling, sister.
What a pal.
Now then, Doc and Reggie, I want you to listen closely to what I'm going to say, in case I'm not as smart as the killer when the time comes.
Hey, cut it out, will you, guy?
Will you listen? In case anything happens to me, I want you to give this information to the police. First, find Pauline West, the radio actress. She's in this house. Second, remember that it was Grandma Martin who arranged the chairs in the library so that Job sat in front of the window the night he was killed. But be sure to tell them that she had been arranging the chairs in just that same order ever since the grandchildren were small. You got that?
That's great. I'm making notes.
Third, tell them the night Cherry was bound and gagged and taken down to the furnace room that her clothes were strewn from the third floor to the basement, making a trail that would assure us finding her quickly.
I say, I never thought of that. Did you ask Cherry? Did she drop stuff as she was being carried down?
How could she? She was tied hand and foot before she was taken out of her bedroom, according to her own story.
Then the fella who carried her down must have dropped the stuff.
Right.
But why?
That's all the police need to know. They can find out the rest from that.
Uh-huh. You know, from the look on Faye's map, I bet she could tell us.
Maybe I could.
Fourth, there's about 3 or 4 thicknesses of wallpaper on the walls of Cherry's bedroom. Did you know for sure how many, Faye?
Well, I'd say offhand the room had been papered 4 times.
Yes. Well, tell the police to peel off the 3 top layers of paper in an area about 3 feet square and examine the figures on the paper very carefully.
Well, what the heck's that for?
And you be present when they do it, and you'll see.
Sure, that's the quickest yet.
5, give them this gun. It's the one that killed Job and the one Cherry and Hope fought over when Hope was shot. Be sure to call their attention to this piece of black thread tied to the trigger.
Yeah, I noticed that. It is on the gun when I picked it up after Hope was shot.
Yes, about a foot long. If they'll examine the end under a microscope, they'll probably find it looks as though it had been burned off. You, getting all this down, Reggie?
Yes, quite.
6. This is going to be in the nature of a demonstration. Take hold of Faye's arm, Doc.
Say, what's the idea?
Jack says to take your arm, so I'm a-taking your arm.
Well, take it easy, will you? I don't want to look like I've been manhandled by a gorilla.
Be sure to hang on to it now.
You bet you. Hey!
The lights! The lights!
Jack, who turned out the lights?
I did. Sit still. I'll turn them on again.
Sit down, Faye.
No, you let go of me.
I said sit down.
Let go of me now. Go!
Why, you little cat, sit down. Get them lights turned on, Jack.
Here they are. Oh, I say. Doc, what happened?
Looky at my face.
Scratches.
She did that. I say she done it. She tried to get away.
Faye, what's the matter with you? Why'd you try to get away?
Why not? It was dark.
Lady, you don't know how near you come to getting soft.
So what?
But the lights, what made them go out?
I turned them out.
How could you? You were 6 or 8 feet from the wall.
The same way they were turned out last night before Job was killed. Look, I've got a piece of heavy black thread.
Thread?
That's all. I tied it to the switch when you weren't noticing. When I was ready for the blackout, I pulled on the thread, pulling the switch down. Lights go out. The thread slips off the switch. And
Then somebody right in this room snapped off the lights.
That's right.
Faye, is that why you made such a fuss? Because Jack found out how you switched off the light?
Oh, don't be absurd. Jack didn't say I did it.
Well, what about it, Jack? Did she?
I can't prove anyone did it yet. But demonstrate it to the police if I'm not here.
Quite. That's 5 things to tell the police.
And that's all. Now then, Reggie.
Yes?
I want to talk to Grandmother Martin and Cherry separately. Go find them.
Have you any idea?
No, but they're around the house someplace.
Well, how do you know that? We ain't kept a watch on them for hours. How do you know they ain't slipped out?
Because the house is completely surrounded by plainclothes detectives.
What's that?
That's right, Faye.
What's that for?
Because of Hope. Whoever wants her dead might otherwise have slipped away and followed her to the hospital.
I see. Think of everything, don't you?
We do our best. There's murder loose in this house. We're doing what we can to keep it here, under quarantine. Well, go on, Reggie. Find Grandma and Cherry.
Righto, I'll have a look.
Oh, Reggie.
Yes?
One at a time. Bring Cherry first.
Cherry it is.
We're just going to sit here and wait.
I am. You can do as you choose.
I choose to go up to my room.
Go ahead.
Hey, Jack.
You go too, naturally.
But leaving you down here alone, fella.
You stick to Faye. Don't worry about me.
Well, come on, Shadow.
Yeah, only I still don't like it.
You've certainly got a lot of faith in your partner.
What you mean?
2 girls and 1 old woman, and you're worrying about leaving him alone here in the library.
Well, so I'm afraid that...
And all the time he'll be within calling distance of you and Reggie. And the house surrounded by cops. That's what I call real bravery.
Don't make us all look ridiculous, Doc. Go along with it.
Well, I got a feeling...
Oh, come on if you're going to.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
You better lock the door if we go out, Jack.
5:30. I don't quite know where you are. You may be right here in the room with me. You may be watching from some panel I don't know about, or at one of the windows or doors. I don't know. All I know is that you've been listening to everything that's been said in this room. I knew you were there. That's why I sent Reggie out to find Grandma and Cherry. That's why I let Faye go up to her room with Doc, so we'd be alone. You may be the murderer. I don't know. But whether you are or not, you're a very unhealthy person. You're afraid. You feed on darkness. Your thoughts are lustful and violent. You're the power of evil in this house. You're not only cowardly and violent and evil, but you're much worse because you're a woman. When a woman's bad, she can be so much more wicked than a man. Strange, isn't it, that anything which can be the greatest instrument for good in the world can also be the greatest instrument for wickedness? I feel sorry for you. It wasn't your fault in the beginning. I think of all the people in this house, you have the greatest potentialities for greatness. You could have been just as great in the realm of goodness as you are superior in the realm of evil. You've worked with such perfect deliberation, coolly, masterfully, with superior knowledge of human nature. You've even used your own weakness to the best advantage. It's been fascinating working against you. And in a way, it seems a pity that you're at the end of your rope. I don't know when that end will come. That'll depend on you. An hour, day, not much more than that. And I want to tell you that
Jack, look at me.
Doc, where's Faye?
I don't know.
What's the matter with you?
I was hit over the head. Hit over the head.
Doc.
Hit over the head.
The baby. Reggie, it's the baby. Find Faye. We've got to find Faye.
What is it, Jack? Where are you? What's the matter? Jack, where are you? What? Doc, what's the matter?
Hit on the head. Find Faye.
Hit on the head? Who did it? Doc, answer me. Who did it?
I don't know. Be all right in a minute. Find Faye.
Find Faye? Why? What's the matter with Faye?
Jack's scared. Find Faye.
You sure you'll be all right?
Yeah, sure.
The baby. Doc, I've got to go find Jack. Jack, where are you?
Reggie, where are you?
I'm in the living room, Jack. In the living room.
Stay right there. I'm coming.
Something's loose in this house. Something dangerous. I can feel it. Oh, Jack, are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right up and down in the furnace room. Have you seen Faye?
No, but the baby.
Yes, I heard it. We've got to find...
Jack!
Out in the hall, quick!
Who is it? Who fell downstairs?
Grandma Martin.
Oh, I say. Is she dead?
No, unconscious.
Jack, look at her leg.
Yeah, broken.
Oh, that's too bad, an old lady like her.
Jack, Reggie. Jack, what was that? Hey, what's the matter with Grandma?
Thrown downstairs, unconscious and broken leg.
You mean Faye done that to her own Grandma?
We haven't got time to talk. Doc, how do you feel?
Oh, better than it did.
Can you carry Grandma into the library?
I guess so.
Then take care of her. Don't leave her for a minute.
But I want to go with...
You're not in any condition to go anywhere. Do what I tell you. Come on, Reggie.
Where are we going, Jack?
Search every room on the second and third floor.
We're looking for Faye?
I'll search the rooms. You stand here in the hall. See that no one slips by.
That's Faye's room.
Yes, I know it.
But what about Cherry, Jack?
We find Faye, Cherry be all right.
Did you look in the second closet?
Yeah, no one in there. And across the hall to Job's room.
We're wasting time.
I know it. What else can we do? Watch the hall.
Well, why not call in some police from outside?
No, I'll do it myself. I know it's done right. There's nobody in here. Come on, Hope's room's next.
Around the corner of the hall. If Faye threw her grandmother downstairs, she's got to be up here somewhere.
If she's not in here, she's got to be on the third floor.
Don't forget to look in that window seat.
Don't watch me. Keep your eye on the hall.
You expected to try to slip by?
I expect someone to try to slip by. We're closing in.
Looking for anyone in this house is a bally job.
Nobody in here. Come on up to the third floor.
Righto.
They've got to be... Wait, hold it a minute.
What's the matter?
Here's the linen closet. Don't let's pass up anything.
No, go away.
It's Cherry.
Oh.
Cherry, what are you doing in this linen closet?
Crouched on the floor like a bally animal.
Cherry, answer me. What are you doing here?
She's after me.
What are you talking about? Who's after you?
Faye, she mustn't.
Faye's after you? What for?
She wants to kill me.
Where is she now?
I don't know.
Here, get up on your feet.
Look here. Go easy, Jack.
Now then, answer me. Where's Faye?
I don't know.
Answer me, do you hear? Tell me where Faye is or I'll shake it out of you.
Oh, I don't want to see her. I don't hear her. I don't.
Jack, this is beastly.
Don't you think I know it?
Well, she's so terrified now she doesn't know what she's saying. You can't get anything out of her like that.
No, I guess you're right.
Oh, Jack, look at her hands. Fingers straight out, stiff like claws.
I can't bend them. Something's happened to them.
Here, let me see.
Oh, like ugly claws.
Cold as ice.
I can't bend them. Look. I can't bend my own fingers. I can't.
Jack, I can't bear this.
Hysteria. It'll wear off when the tension's over. Cherry, do you feel safe here in this closet?
Yes, it's dark. They can't find me in the dark.
All right. Go back in. I'll lock you in.
Jack.
We can't take her with us. We've got to find Faye.
But she shouldn't be left alone.
I tell you, we've got to find Faye.
I'll be all right.
We'll come back for you in a little while.
I don't like it, Jack.
I don't like any of it. I hate women who get themselves into messes like this. Now, come on.
They certainly aren't the best.
Come on up the third floor.
Cherry with her fingers split out, stiff like clawing talons. Grandma sprawled grotesquely at the foot of the stairs. I wonder how we'll find Faye.
Yeah, it's pleasant.
I say we're not rushing about as we were. Isn't it as important to find Faye as it was?
Just as important, but not as urgent now that we know where Grandma and Cherry are.
I see. And she's got to be up here ahead of us somewhere, huh?
Yes. All right, now for Cherry's room.
I'm to wait out here?
Yeah.
You don't suppose... Jack, come here.
What's the matter?
Look, round the corner of the hall there. Shadow.
creeping this way.
That's a man. Light behind him is throwing a shadow ahead.
There haven't been any men in the house?
Well, there is now. You want to take him or shall I?
Let me.
He's almost to the corner, so get set.
Right-o.
Move fast. He may have a gun.
Quite.
Hold it. Get him, Reggie. Look out for his gun.
There.
Good work, Reggie. Here, let's have a look at him.
Here's his gun. Do you suppose this is the chap who carried Cherry down to the furnace room?
Hello. Reggie, we made a mistake.
What's that?
Here, look at this badge on his vest.
Badge?
Yes, police department.
Oh, but I say.
Plainclothes man from the detective bureau. You had the doubtful honor of knocking out a policeman.
Yes, but what's he doing here? Naturally, I wouldn't have tackled him
Well,
if
that's what I want to know. What's he doing here? I wonder if they planted any more in this house.
But I thought you said they weren't going to.
They weren't. They said they'd keep all their men out. What's that?
I don't hear anything.
I do, from Grandmother Martin's suite of rooms. Come on. Here, this is it. Here, this way.
Jack, what's that smell?
Chloroform. Here, she's locked in this closet. Faye, do you hear me?
Get me out of here. Hurry. Get me out of here.
Listen, get hold of yourself. Save your breath. We'll get you out.
But how? The door's locked and there's no key.
We'll break it in.
Right-o, but can we do it?
Wait. Faye, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, hurry.
Lie down on the floor. We're going to break in the door. Do you hear?
Yes.
All right. Well, come on, Reggie. Together now. Solid. Once more now.
It's coming. Do it again.
Now.
That did it.
Here, help me with it.
Get me out. Get me out.
Easy.
All right, you're all right.
There you are. Now throw open the window.
Quiet.
Now get all those saturated towels and throw them out.
Out the window?
Yes. Don't try to talk for a minute. Just breathe deep.
Why would she do it?
Don't talk. Just breathe.
Half a dozen towels soaked with chloroform, enough to kill an elephant. Out they go.
I can talk. Let me sit up, please.
Take it easy.
Fresh air is all I needed.
Who locked you in that closet?
Grandma.
Grandmother Martin tried to kill you?
Well, how did she get you in the closet in the first place?
Yeah. You remember Doc was bringing me upstairs?
Yes?
Somebody hit him on the head. I didn't see who it was. I just ran. I was so scared.
You didn't do it?
No. I ran up here to Grandma's room. She wasn't here, but she came in just a minute.
Well, where'd she been?
I didn't get a chance to ask her. She was out of breath. She said, Quick, Faye, get my slippers out of the closet. I didn't think. Just went in the closet, and she slammed the door on me and locked me in.
And the chloroform towels were already in there?
No. She said, you'll be safe in there, my girl. Then I heard the door to her room open and close, and I pounded on the door to be let out, and in a couple of minutes she came back in.
What did she say then?
Nothing. I think she didn't say a thing, but pretty soon she began pushing towels soaked in chloroform under the door.
Joe, Grandma Martin.
I was all wrong. I thought I knew who the murderer was. I thought I knew from the way you talked, Jack, but I was wrong. It was Grandma all the time.
Grandma Martin, I thought it was you.
You thought it was me?
Yes, we found Cherry hiding from you. I say, are you sure it wasn't you?
It was Grandma, I tell you.
But Cherry said you were trying to kill her.
Jerry said I was trying to kill her.
That's what she said.
And see here, you might have locked yourself in there with those towels, you know.
But I didn't. Jack, I thought you said you knew for sure who the murderer is.
I do, Faye. I know just as sure as I'm sitting here looking at you.
It's just as true as I'm standing here. Grandma tried to kill me.
Would you go on the witness stand and swear to that, Faye?
Certainly not. This is a family affair. Nevertheless, it's true.
You're mistaken, Faye.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Because at the time you say Grandma was shoving towels saturated with chloroform under the door of the closet you were locked in, she was lying unconscious at the foot of the stairs on the first floor.
No, I tell you.
That's right, Faye. I was there when she fell.
I'll grant you, your grandmother may have locked you in the closet, but she wasn't the one who tried to chloroform you.
Then who did? She was the only one who knew I was in there.
No, the murderer knew.
But how? How could he possibly have known?
Have you forgotten you pounded on the door and yelled to get out? It drew the killer's attention to you. What a perfect setup. Your grandmother locks you in, so naturally if you die there, everyone would suspect your grandmother.
Then that's why he wouldn't answer. He wanted me to think it was Grandma.
Certainly. The killer was roaming around the house. Grandma Martin locked you in the closet to protect you and started downstairs to find me. She was thrown or pushed down the stairs by the killer. who then came on up to the 3rd floor. Here you were, yelling and pounding. Saw the perfect opportunity to finish you, and nearly succeeded.
Jack, what about Cherry down on the 2nd floor? When we found her crouching in the linen closet, she was in a fit of terror. She said Fay was after her, trying to kill her.
She was mistaken.
You mean she mistook the killer for Fay? But in that case, who is the killer?
You don't know now.
No, I don't. Oh, look here. There's only one person. It could be Pauline West, the radio actress.
Yes, Pauline West.
Yes, it would have to be. She's the only other person connected with this house, the only other name mentioned.
Yes, Reggie. Pauline West is the murderer.
But where is she now? Why haven't we seen her? Is she in the house now?
Yes, and you're going to see her very shortly now. In fact, in the next few minutes, I'm going to turn Pauline West over to the police.
No, you can't do that. No matter what happens, you can't do that.
She's guilty of murder. She killed your brother, Job. She was responsible for Cherry accidentally shooting Hope, although it wasn't an accident. She tried to kill your grandmother by pushing her downstairs. She tried to chloroform you, and she was responsible for Cherry being pushed downstairs and being slashed over and over again.
I know it. Oh, don't you understand? We'd all rather be dead. We'd all want to be dead if she was taken into court and made a public exhibit. Something for the newspapers to gloat over, for the appetites of the scandalmongers to feed on. I'd rather see all of us dead than to see that happen.
I'm afraid I haven't got much choice in the matter. I warned your grandmother when she brought us in that if the murder was in this house and I could prove it, nothing could prevent me from turning it over to the police.
Then if I get the opportunity, I will kill her with my own hands.
Oh, but you mustn't.
That'd be terribly foolish, because then you would have to be the public sensation instead of her.
No, because you'd never take me alive.
Reggie, under these circumstances, Faye's a very dangerous young woman. It's going to be necessary for you to stay by her and prevent her from doing what she said she'll do.
How much longer is this going to keep up?
Only a few minutes. Only until I have Pauline West in safe custody.
No, you can't do it.
Reggie, stop her.
Jack, she's locked us in.
Now we are in a fine mess. We've got to break down that door.
Right on, let's go.
Wait, listen. The baby.
Oh, look here.
Come on, we got to get out of here. Together now.
Once more should do it.
Hurry.
More solid than I thought.
We've got to keep trying. We've got to get out of here. It's murder. We've got to get out of here quick.
Cherry, is that you?
Hey, don't come near me.
Cherry, listen. We haven't got much time. Give me your hand. Now, come on.
No, hey.
I tell you, we haven't got much time. Now, hurry, faster.
Hey, where are we going? I don't want to go.
Now, then, up these stairs to the attic.
The attic?
Faster. Wait.
But why, Faye? Why?
Come on. Now then, up this ladder to the roof.
Faye, I'm afraid.
Come on, hurry. I'm right behind you.
Oh, please, Faye, please.
Now push that trap door up.
No.
Push that trap door up. All right. Up on the roof.
It's so high up here. It's so high.
It's all right, Cherry. It's all right. I'm going with you.
Going with me?
Here, come over to the edge of the roof. I want to show you something.
Hey, someone's turned the searchlight on. They can see us up here.
It doesn't matter, darling. It doesn't matter in the least.
Hey, I'm so scared.
Don't worry. I'll be with you. I'll be with you all the time. Now, look over the edge. You see the glass roof of the sunroom right down below us?
But it's so far.
The glass roof of the sunroom. You loved the sunroom when you were a little girl. It was your favorite room.
Hey, why did you bring me up here?
Darling, you couldn't help it. It wasn't ever your fault, so you mustn't suffer any more for it. Just close your eyes. Do you remember how you used to close your eyes when I told you fairy stories? Fairy stories about the good little fairies who always came to the rescue of little girls and
I think we're getting it.
Once more, we'll do it.
That did it.
Downstairs, Reggie. Downstairs.
I know. I'm coming. Which way, Jack? Which way?
Come on. Downstairs to the first floor.
But how do you know which way she went?
I don't know which way she went. We've got to find her. Wait, I'm going into the library. You take the dining room, conservatory, and the sunroom.
Righto.
Yell if you see anything.
All right. You do the same.
Fine mess.
Hey, Jack, what's the matter?
Doc, has Faye been in here?
Faye? No, nobody's been in here. Jack, we ought to get a doctor.
Jack, come here.
That's Reggie.
Come on, Doc. He's found her.
Jack.
Coming, Reggie.
In the sunroom. Hurry.
Did you find her? Reggie, where is she? What's the matter?
Look, Jack, up through the glass. Look up on the roof.
What's that?
Hey, it's Faye and Cherry. Look, they're fighting.
Well, don't stand there. What's the matter with you? Get up on the roof.
Look out! No, it shouldn't have happened that way.
Oh, boy, 4 o'clock in the morning. Reggie, when this mess is cleaned up, I'm going to bed and sleep straight through a week.
About a little sleep I'd get if I did go to bed tonight.
Wonder why they don't put some sleeping chairs in a hospital waiting room. Where'd Jack say he is going?
The doctor called him out. Something about Fay.
Yeah. The chauffeur dead, Job dead, Cherry dead. Poor little old Cherry.
That isn't all.
Huh?
Hope in the hospital with a bullet wound, Grandma here with a broken leg, and Fay here with a fractured skull.
Man, when Cherry and Fay high-dived off that roof and down through that skylight...
Would you mind not talking about it?
Yeah. Sure would like to know who was pushing who up there, though.
Cherry was pushing Fay.
Yeah, it sure looked like it, all right. Oh, you back, Jack?
Yes.
Anything?
No, everything's just the same.
Looky, Jack, I still don't know who is doing what to who over yonder at the Martin.
Well, and it's time I told you.
Yes, I think it is. You said Pauline West was the killer.
She was. But what I didn't say was that Pauline West was...
Well, who?
Cherry Martin.
Hey, you mean Cherry done all that dirty work?
Yes.
But the slashing thrown downstairs.
She did that herself.
She did?
And them, the they people she was always talking about.
Figments of her own imagination. She really believed in them some of the time.
Hey, things don't fit together.
Yes, they do. Let's start at the beginning. Way back when Cherry was a little girl. She was a nervous, excitable child. Her grandmother had little patience with her. She used to lock her in her bedroom. On the walls of the bedroom were all the old Mother Goose figures. The Man in the Moon, the Old Witch. And one of the characters was a figure with a black hood, the face shadowed from view. And he wore a blood-red smock.
The man who tied her up and carried her to the furnace room.
Hey!
Yes, the characters from her childhood wallpaper transferred from the walls to her mind. Those were the they people who were after her. Locked in the room with these figures she feared and hated, her child mind absorbed them to the point where she could never get rid of them.
Oh, how horrible. But no Mother Goose character carried her downstairs.
No, of course not. She did that herself. But somehow in her mind she blamed him for it.
But she was bound and gagged.
She did that herself.
Was this why Grandmother Martin called us in on the case on account of Cherry?
No. Hope and Job were involved with the chauffeur. He was trying to make Job ask his grandmother for money to pay blackmail. When Job refused, he found Hope an easy target, so he threatened to bring the family name to shame through Hope unless Job got the money.
Grandma knew this?
No, only that Job and Hope were in trouble.
Which we were supposed to get him out of.
Yes, but the night we arrived, Job took things into his own hands and killed the chauffeur.
Job really did do that then?
Yes, Cherry actually saw him. And that's what set Cherry off. She was shocked and afraid, but she saw how easily people could be killed. She was right on the verge mentally anyway. That finished.
She killed Job?
Yes. She was impelled to kill Job because she knew he was going to be found out.
But how?
Well, she watched where Job hid the gun and got it. She took it out on the porch to that big urn that sits right in front of the library window. She fastened it in place, pointing right to the chair Job would sit in.
I say, she knew he'd sit in it because Grandma Martin always made each one sit in his own chair?
Yes. Then she fastened a heavy black thread to the trigger, ran it over the muzzle of the gun, in through a crack in the window to her chair.
So that's how it is done?
Yes. When the gun went off, the bullet cut the thread that was holding it in place, and it fell into the urn out of sight.
I say.
Only a mind in that condition would have conceived such a thing. But it worked, and it made Cherry look innocent.
And then Hope found the gun.
Yes, before Cherry could get it and hide it. Hope suspected Cherry because she had said they would get Joe before the police did. So she came up to Cherry's room while you were with her, Doc.
Yeah, that's right.
The minute Cherry saw the gun, she knew that she had to do something desperate, that Hope knew too much. So she pretended to struggle with her, but deliberately turned the gun on Hope and shot her.
Boy, murder. And me standing right there.
Then I discovered Pauline West. And when I mentioned the name to Fay, then Fay knew that Cherry was guilty.
Well, I don't get that. Why?
Because Fay knew that 2 or 3 years ago, Cherry had tried to be a radio actress. To keep the rest of the family from knowing, Cherry had taken the name of Pauline West. She wasn't a good actress, but they discovered she could cry like a baby.
What's that?
Exactly. Cherry was the baby. She'd done baby imitations on the radio.
Doggone.
Fay had forgotten all about that. It happened so long ago, but the minute I mentioned Pauline West, she knew at once.
So now she had to kill Fay to keep a secret.
Yes, that's why I insisted Fay be guarded so closely.
Well, who bopped me on the head when I was taking Fay upstairs?
Cherry. She wanted you out of the way so she could get at Fay. But Fay didn't wait. She ran up to her grandmother's room. By this time, Grandma knew. She knew Fay was in danger, so she locked her in the closet so Cherry couldn't get at her.
But Cherry did get at her, chloroform.
Yes. It was also Cherry who tried to chloroform Hope.
Boy, and such a pretty little thing.
But why push her grandmother downstairs?
By this time, Cherry was so unsettled in her mind she didn't know what she was doing.
But that roof business, how'd Cherry ever get Fay up on the roof?
And what happened up there is best left alone.
You ain't a-talking?
Case is finished. The House of Martin has fallen. They, those little people, have succeeded just as Job said they would. Now let's forget it. I'm dead tired.
Quiet.
Yeah. Poor little feller.
further transcribed adventures of Jack, Doc, and Reggie will come to you tomorrow at this same hour. I Love a Mystery, written and directed by Carlton E. Morse, comes to you Monday through Friday, featuring Russell Thorson as Jack, Jim Bowles as Doc Long, and Tony Randall as Reggie York. Frank McCarthy speaking.
Cerebral Cinema hopes you have enjoyed this movie of the mind.